Right, welcome guys, welcome. We're going to be streaming some Age of Wonders 4 today. So for a few hours, maybe 3 or 4 hours. And this is of course going to be the Giant Kings DLC. I'm allowed to now sort of show it as a live stream, which is great. I think I'm even allowed to, I just had a look at the embargo, and I think I'm allowed to sort of talk about, like almost like a review of it. So I thought I'd just sort of start off. What I'll do is I'll go to the Steam page and let's have a quick look and just make sure everything is up and running. Yep, we're up and running there. Up and running there, that's good. So I'm streaming to both Twitch and to YouTube. So anyway, Giant Kings out now. So it's actually released essentially yesterday, or pretty close to now. We've got 5 user reviews at this point in time. I'd be interested to see what people say about it, to be honest. The game, I'm enjoying the actual new content. But we'll just go through actually what's in here, just so you can sort of see what it is. I've got to say the price. I saw the price just literally a few minutes ago, and I was actually unpleasantly surprised by the price. If I'm being perfectly honest, I think this is very, very high for this DLC. I thought this was going to be one of the lesser DLCs. Where they sort of have they tend to have like a big DLC, then a small DLC, then a big DLC, etc., etc. And I thought Archon Kings, the Archons, which are going to be coming next, would be the big one, and this would be a smaller one. So when I saw the price, I thought, wow, okay, that's really out there. That's really out there. So first of all, I'd be sort of saying, we've got 21 pounds is what Bioff is saying. With WTF. Yeah, so I'm thinking this is Australian dollars. This is, I'm guessing it's around about $25 US, if I'm just thinking of US dollars. But I've got to say that seems very high for me. The other way around that is to, of course, grab an expansion pass, where you then get sort of like a group of different things. So if you've got the expansion pass, then you sort of do get a lot more. And I think that's good value. If we go and just click on show more for that one there, you do end up with Herald of Glory. So you end up essentially with Ways of War, Giant Kings, Archon Prophecy. And I don't even remember what Herald of Glory is, to be honest. So begin your next journey now with Age of Wonders 2, Herald of Glory. This pack is available instantly when purchasing the expansion pass. It includes unique items to assert your dominion over the astral sea. I can't even think what that one is. So I've got absolutely no idea. That is much better value. Now, having said that, a few things with this as well. If I'm just just sort of speaking out aloud about the different DLCs, because we've now got a fair few DLCs coming for the game. Ways of War is one that people haven't really warmed to, from what I can gather. It says mostly positive down through there with 100 reviews. So that's one that hasn't been as well received as the previous DLCs, in my opinion. It's interesting. It brings the ogres. It brings a few other different factions in as well. Maybe we'll have a look at all the DLCs before we sort of go much further. I mean, I love the game. It's my favourite game of all time. But I am looking at that price, thinking that's a very, very it's a very high price for the DLC, in my opinion. It does, we'll go through what it actually does add, but that for me, that was like a thinking, oh geez, that is really up there. Now I'll go back to the main game and we'll have a look at some of the other DLC. Archon Prophecy, with the Archons coming, I think that will be good. I don't know if we can actually see that one. I'll just go and click on it. So Archon Prophecy, this one's going to be coming late. I'll just get rid of the pop-ups. So this is Q3 in 2025. And I'm not sure what the plans are after this particular DLC, but this one is this is my favourite faction of all the factions in Age of Wonders 2. So I absolutely love the Archons. They were just fantastic. They're sort of almost overpowered. So so anyway, we've got about this content. So new culture built on the empire with a new nation, one or more new forms, transform your people with striking new traits. Story realms, narrative events. So I'm not sure what this one will cost, but if we just go back to Giant Kings, and maybe what we'll do with Giant Kings is I'll just see if any of the reviews are actually showing yet, which they're not. Oh, here we go. Yeah, here we go. So this one here, if people are thumbs up actually all the way through. This is actually So, and we're live, looking forward to a good DLC, another DLC for games that don't stop surprising me. Amazing. There is a lot of good content in this, so we'll get into the actual content. But it's just the price is the only aspect I'm sort of concerned about. After being ripped off by Sins of Solar Empire 2's first DLC, I'm happy to have a DLC that has some actual gameplay content. The free patch was dropped along with this content, includes a great amount of changes to the base game as well. And so these are all positive reviews, which is good to see. Like, people aren't sort of saying, hey, you know, this is not worth the money or anything like that. So, but like when I saw the price, I thought that's high. All right. So anyway, we've got new ruler types. So we've got the Giant King ruler types, and these are fairly unique. And there's actually 4 different types. It's essentially sort of elemental giants. They rule elementals, and so we end up with other aspects of them sort of coming back through. New crystal city dwelling. This is actually a new way of interacting with the game, where there's more quests. So you sort of end up doing a lot more with what it does to itself. Landmark regions will appear in your realm that you can annex into your empire for economic benefits. So this is good. This is actually fairly meaningful and immersive content. Magnificent waterfalls, the remains of ancient dragons, majestic underground monuments, and more are waiting for you to explore. And if you watched yesterday, I did actually go through a few of the little bits and pieces that you could then go and do with that one through there. So it's actually, so in that sense, it makes the game a lot more immersive. Handcrafted regions. So furthermore, the worlds of the Astral Sea have been enriched with the addition of 38 meticulously crafted decorative regions that have been seamlessly integrated into the existing environments. That's actually a high number. I didn't realise it was that many. So that's pretty cool as well. Shop structures. We now have merchants who now roam the land, offering powerful services and rare goods. Visit one of 3 shop types to purchase heroes, item and skills, mounts to bolster. I haven't come across this yet, to be honest. So feeling bold, attack these traders to seize their wares, but beware, future dwellings may be closed to you. All right, Fated Regions event system. So the new realm trait of Legends of Merida introduces 9 unique story-driven regions. This is actually a realm trait. Do you wonder how? I think we'll get into that when we get into the game. Each linked to the forgotten history of the giants, embark upon a journey to discover the mysteries of each region and complete their quests to claim legendary artifacts that grant powerful economic bonuses. Collect 3 artifacts to trigger a special endgame event with a unique reward. So we'll probably actually end up playing that one, I'm thinking, as well. So we've got new wildlife and units. So we've got the face formidable new types of wildlife roaming the land. And so we end up with these litharine units, which essentially are crystal elementals. Forge being guarding the depths below, and primordial units as well. So colossal tier 5 beasts stand ready to challenge. So there's a lot of content. There is a lot of content it's not in your face content, but some of it like for me when I started playing it, I thought it was going to be lower priced, but just added to the immersion, and it certainly adds to the immersion. The overall what it does have. We've got 2 new tomes as well. The Tone of the Dungeon Depths, so build a grand underground empire and protect it at all costs. Transform your provinces into a new dungeon theme with economic bonuses and 4 special province improvements. I think we'll play this one as well. Craft eternal clay soldiers and deadly traps to defend your territories. And the Tome of Geomancy. Transform all your units into beings of geomantic crystal, attuned to the energies of the earth to supercharge their damage and resistance. So recruit Geomancy units to harness the power of the earth and arm your forces with razor-sharp resonating weapons. So we'll certainly play with all of these different aspects. Additional content, 3 new realm traits and a new realm template, 2 new ancient wonders, 4 new music tracks, and a new interface skin for the fully immersive underground aesthetic. And there is a lot, we saw that yesterday, like the actual underground, how that does chop and change a lot, which is very, very cool. Dave Flute saying, hi Daz, just started another Age of Wonders 4 game. We'll stop and watch your game. Keep up the good work, thank you. So Shmail is saying, hey Daz, surprised that at no Age of Wonders 4 today with the new DLC out. Not sure what you mean. No Age of Wonders 4 today. Well, this is Age of Wonders 4 right now. I'm not sure what you mean. Hi Hi Freya, how are you going? So Shamala saying, I'm excited about the handcrafted regions. Makes the game look even better. It does. It really, when I started playing it, I sort of felt that the overall additional things to the game were lighter than the immersive elements that were part of the existing maps, and I really welcomed that when I first, like my first reaction to when I was testing this a couple of weeks ago was that it makes the world richer, and it does, which is great. And so Drexy's then saying about 5 years ago, Paradox decided DLC will never go on sale under 50%. So a lot of the time, the base game is cheaper on sale than DLC. There we go. I didn't realise that the DLC price puts me off giving Age of Wonders 4 another chance. It is a great game. Like even just the base game is a great game. It's saying posted here. Not sure if you're reading YouTube. I am reading YouTube. I can see that you're on YouTube as well. I can see you've got the same comments. I'm going to be trying to flick it between the two with Twitch and YouTube. So I find Twitch easier for me to read because the it comes up a bit clearer, like with what I have for Twitch more than YouTube. But I am going to be trying to look at both. You're in the Emperor. Oh, I'm in the Emperor. I knew I didn't do something. Sorry, I knew I didn't set something up. This is Age of... Sorry about that. Thank you for that. I only just woke up. Giant Kings. The new start. And this will be DasTactic as well. Oops, exclamation mark. DasTactic. There we are. It is playing Age of Wonders 4. Giant Kings. All right. Thank you for that. Yeah, I set up all this. I thought, oh yeah, I've got it all set up, and then I had to update OBS. Age of Wonders. Joining the crowd here. So there's already people streaming this, of course. So click on done there. All right, there we are. So thank you for that. I didn't even. That's normally the first thing I do is set up Twitch, but I didn't this time. So I'll just go back to the Steam page. Yeah. So thank you, Froduck, for that one, and also Viebenholz. So. Yeah, Bioff saying I feel a bit let down with this DLC and the price, but I've been playing more than Distant Worlds 2 than anything. I've been playing more Distant Worlds 2 than anything anyway. There we are. So that's why I jumped over to Twitch for as the sake says. No, don't look. I will get to both groups, so don't worry. I will be making. I've been trying to make more of an effort to balance my attention. And there's just a lot more comments here on Twitch. Drex is saying, you're going to do anything with Endless Legend 2? I'm under embargo. I'm not allowed to talk about it. Not for another week and a half. I'm just looking at my timing over there. So I'm not even allowed to mention it. So I'm sorry, Drexy, but that's your answer, I guess. So it's sort of like it's a yes, but with an embargo. So high availability, how are you going? And the Emperor of the Fading Suns fades away, says Jamnuska. There we go. Yeah, and so Drex is saying, yeah, the embargo ends the 10th. It's the 11th for me, but yeah, that's what we got. Hugo was saying, hello, Daz and chat. I've been impressed with the DLC for Age of Wonders 4 so far. They put a lot of work into each subsequent DLC. They have. Each DLC has been extremely good as far as DLC goes. There's been no real just bloat. The only one, it's probably the previous one, is the only one that I didn't really warm to it. I could play without that one quite happily, like the Ways of War, which sort of adds in more of the Eastern style with the ogres. Yeah, I don't need that one. Although we do now have the ogre update as well, which we probably should talk about. Drex is saying, I guess I shouldn't have mentioned that. Yes. So hi the fireman, and back over on YouTube we've got hi Michael. Great game, but the price is ridiculous. It is high. That is a high price. And then we've got some of Drexy's comments over there as well. Thomas is in saying hey Daz and hello everyone, and Chris is saying hi, looking forward to this, and Voidspark saying hi. So anyway, let's get into the actual game itself. So that's the DLC. There's a lot. You can see there's a lot of content there, but I would be going for this more than this. This is the expansion pass. That way you end up with essentially Ways of War. What is Heralds of Glory? I don't even know that one. It came out in October. It's probably just part of the expansion pass. I actually don't even know. That's mostly positive. Ways of War is mostly positive. Giant Kings, we only got the five reviews. If I go to Ways of War, what does that one have? We'll just have a quick look at the pricing and what they bring. So this one brings the Simians and the Ogres in. That's $21 for that one, which I think that's what I thought this one would be, about that sort of price. So yeah, anyway, that's got a bit of stuff in through there. What is the reviews on this one? Mostly positive, 79. So about 70 to 80%. Yeah, so it still rates pretty highly with what it does do. We'll just go back out, and I'll just go back to Age of Wonders as well, and just get rid of the broadcast. So this is the different DLC. So we're looking at the Eldritch Realms added. That was 28. Yeah, so it has been slowly rising. See, Dragon Dawn. I thought, to be honest, I felt that this DLC was about the same level as Dragon Dawn, which I thought added a lot of really good content. Empire and Ashes. I felt that Dragon Dawn was just as good as Empire and Ashes and Primal Fury. To be honest, all of those were very, very good. So we see a bit of a trend there where those first four with Eldritch Realms, etc., are actually like those four are the first expansion pass. And that was pretty damn cool, I've got to say. And so the pricing there was $14.50 and then $28.95, which is this is Australian dollars, not US dollars. But then we have Ways of War goes up again by another third, and then we have another boost on top of this price here for Giant Kings. And so if it follows the trends, it looks like the Archons are going to be a cheaper DLC. But I'm not sure what's coming after the Archons. But I'd imagine that there's going to be 4 in there as well, I would think, with the expansion pass. So if it was me with it, I'd be buying the expansion pass and getting the DLC that way, rather than buying it through just as direct DLC personally. So anyway, let's get into it. Let's go and get it. So So Toothless Shark is saying, I like pretty much all the DLCs for Age of Wonders 4. I do too. I think they've all added something very, very unique to the game. And so in that sense, I think they're great content. But let's just get into the actual game itself. So you can see down the bottom there, I've got pretty much all the DLC. I've got the Influencer version of the game, and I'm just wondering whether I should flick across to now the launch version, but I think I'll just keep it going at this stage. Should I? Actually, I might just... No, it'll probably take a bit of time. Let's just use this version. So we'll go to new game.
Choose your destination.
All right. So now we're going to start off. I will start off with create your realm in through here. And we'll just construct one. There is actually a story, sort of like a story one that comes through, a premium challenge realm. This is the Vestiges of Murder, which does actually. Before I even do that, let's go into my Pantheon. And look at the rewards, because I've actually got I've got 9 to spend, and what do these do? Steel Blessed Dragon Spine unlocks new appearance items for your dragon rulers to use. Okay, that's unlocks. I'm just seeing if there's anything else in through here that I should be getting. Eldritch Guardian Head and Eldritch Ogre Head. Yeah, I won't worry about those. I've unlocked a lot of these things. What's that one there? Gold Seeker Hero Origin. I'm just trying to find something that's going to give me unlock Subterranean Society to choose for your faction. I like getting the new content for this. The Godier Shield. These are different equipments down through this other side. Staff of Blossoms. Yeah, no, there's nothing. I'm just looking for new ways of playing the game. See if there's anything that's sort of unlockable. Goldseeker Hero Origin. Yeah, these aren't really going to add much. That one there, I think, may unlock Subterranean Society to choose for your faction. If I just press Shift and just come across. So, Underground Passages grant +2 Imperium. Underground Cities grant extra food. Yeah, so this is actually a... this one would be a good one for us to start with, to be honest. Can I get there? So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, I've got 9 rewards. Okay, so we'll head off down this way. We've got the Cavern Bear, so we'll go that way. What else have we got through here? The Rock Clan banner icon, or the these are just banner icons. Go that way. Is that another banner icon? This unlocks the Magma Orb. Yep, we'll grab that one. Then we've got the Fire Clan banner, or the Frost Clan banner. Well, I've got... Yeah, I'll go Fire. Then we've got this thing, whatever this thing is, a Goldseeker Hero Origin. Then we've got a Giant Hunter Hero Origin, or we've got the the Great Bowman. I'll go the Hunter, the Giant Slayer weapon. Then we actually have a Crystal Runner, unlocks a new mount customization option for your race and ruler, so with a crystal mount. Okay, and we're down to 2 rewards. We've got another Volatile Summoner Hero Origin, so unlocks the Litherite Orb. So this is all part of this content, actually. And unlocks Shatterblades, unlocks the Shatterblades blueprint in the item forge. Let's go that way. And then finally we get the Subterranean Society back through here. So we'll play with that as well. So we'll actually make a group using that new one that we actually have. So I've got no more rewards in my Pantheon. So just go and click on back. So I'm thinking some of those will have come through from what we sort of saw through there. We'll just go and exit the Pantheon, and we'll start a new realm. So with the we can either play the Shattered Throne, which is the one thing that does come through with the Giant Kings. We end up with like Crystal Dwelling, which is an addition from the Giant Kings, which gives you different quests. So this is quite an interesting addition to the game. So definitely want to play with that. Legends of Merida. So with this realm was once part of the fabled giant kingdom called Merida. There are fated regions present on the map which offer quest chains exploring the present and past of Merida. So gain artifacts when completing fated regions, which so we've got fated regions. Fated regions are affected by a ward of fates. Only some of the fated regions available will be present, leaving more to be explored on another realm. So it means that we've got there was 20 something or 30 something of these sorts of realms, I think. These fated regions, I think it was something like that. Anyway, there's a lot of them, and so we only have a portion of them coming into the game, so that's going to give a lot of replay value. Low population, so free cities are rare. Subdued infestation, so the wildlife in this realm is more dormant than usual. The realm starts with a reduced amount of infestations. Lingering creation, so giants and demi-giants are prevalent on this realm. So giant and ogre units are common, and then we've got continents. I'm happy with that, actually, as my start, rather than going through to create a new realm. I don't think, if do a bit of a complete mix on this one, if we customize the realm in through here and sort of have a look, you can see that they've now added in, this is part of the Ogre update, they've actually now got more miscellaneous traits that can be added into the game itself. Nothing new there, okay, so we've got nothing new in that one. Actually, this one through here, this is the geography traits. Nothing new there. Void pockets. Yeah, I've got different voids at the start, so I don't remember too much about those, to be honest. I tend to just play random games anyway. There's a Ways of War, Land of Conflict, but we're not seeing any Giant King content in there. Then we have a whole lot of different stuff that we've actually now got from the Pantheon unlocks. I don't know if we've unlocked any of those right now. So we're not seeing anything else in there at this point in time. And then we've got the miscellaneous traits. So, yeah, this is the Untouched Realm. So this realm, yeah, this is actually... This realm has no meddling from outside creators. No handcrafted regions will be present in this realm's surface and underground. Does not affect handcrafted regions from other realms, traits or story realms. So basically, just a simple realm trait. I think that's actually there just so you can turn off the new content if you do have the DLC and you prefer to just play an old vanilla game. So that's what that one is. Let's have a look and see if there's any more Giant King stuff in through here. The Legends of Merida, banging through this other side, which is what we'll be playing, so I won't go through too much details there. Crystal Dwelling has been added in. We'll be playing with that as well. Yep, and that's all we actually have through there. God, they've got a lot of miscellaneous traits now. This is great. Like this, I mean, a lot of these come through with DLCs, but a lot of them are base game as well. The game is just such a great game, and all of these are going to be the same. So we could sort of mix and match those. So what it will do is we'll just go back, and we will choose the Eternal Dungeons, and so we'll just go that way. So choose your destination. We've got that one now chosen, and we'll just go next or select. Hang on. Just go back. What's going on here? Start again. New game.
Choose your destination.
And we will choose, again, that one there, the Eternal Dungeons. Select. Alright, so we're going to, relative map size is going to be 5. Difficulty will be custom because of the, I'm guessing that's because of what we've chosen, I think. The turn system would be classic turns, back and through here as well. So we've got the subdued infestations, low population, etc., back and through this other side. So we'll just go and just go to advanced settings and just double check these. Yep, that's okay. Yep, confirm.
Your journey starts here.
Now, our faction, we'll go and create a new faction. I'm thinking we'll play with dwarves, just because I've played with a few of the different styles of giants, and so yesterday I just started thinking, okay, yeah, for this run I think I'll actually play with the good old dwarfs, the dwarfkins. So now this is where a lot of people actually don't really they don't like this aspect of the game. I really don't mind it. What they've done over time is sort of try to make things a bit more thematic, so you don't end up with crazy sort of your halflings that are super strong. Like these, for example, the halflings will end up being elusive, which, yeah, tick, that's fine. Quick reflexes, yep, harder to hit by ranged attacks, and friendlier units do not block movement, so light-footed. That is thematic. So that sort of works for the halflings. Now, when you're playing with random like starts with random groups, you can get some unusual traits. Like you can go in and change these into being sort of like super strong. So all of the same ones that are here for the orcs are also here eventually for all of them as well. We should actually see if there's any Giant King traits, which there aren't. I just had a quick look through them. But so these are all very, very thematic with what does come into the actual game itself. So the dwarves have got defensive tactics, which sort of gives them the overwhelm tactics and pack tactics back and through there, where they end up with essentially with a +1 defense and resistance when standing next to a friendly unit. So essentially like a shield wall. We also then have the tough, so +1 defense and +1 resistance against melee attacks, and then we actually have the +8 hit points back in through there as well. Now, we might just sort of start off with those defaults and not worry about them too much at this stage. So we'll just start off with dwarves.
What is the origin?
Now, there's been a lot of work done to the feudal, and I'm sort of tempted to play feudal. They've now got 2 different types of authority. So your people are loyal to the absolute ruler of the monarch, gaining power from the presence of the ruler. Units gain for the monarch, and certain units can promote into high tier units on attaining legendary rank. Or the aristocracy is sort of a bit more like Game of Thrones, where everyone's got sort of like bannermen, and so each city becomes its own entity essentially. So your cities form powerful houses, able to field efficient armies when led by their liege lords. Each city has a feudal house led by its governor, who becomes the house's liege lord. Units produced in feudal cities become part of that city's feudal house, gaining experience as their liege lords gains renown. Certain units can promote into higher units on attaining legendary rank. I'm tempted to play that. Let me know in the chat if that's something you'd like to see. This is new to the base game. This is not just new to the actual. So this is a base game edition. We don't have any other cultural traits. The other one, of course, we could play would be Industrious, the master builders who value grand cities and strong armour, preferring a defensive attitude over an aggressive one. Has higher production income through bolstering. Units get sturdier as they get hit in battle, and scout prospecting back into here. They can prospect the map. That's Industrious, but yeah, we can certainly play feudal if we wanted to. Aristocracy sounds more interesting. It does, doesn't it? It does sound interesting. So I'm sorry, I'm missing a lot of the comments here. So Sizzle saying, is this the cosmetic pack, Daz? No, it's actually it's a bit of a combination, I think, between the Ogre update and this one. This one does add sort of like a lot of cosmetic things to the game, but it does add a lot more immersion, as you'll see when we get into the actual game itself. But they do keep on, the base game keeps on improving as well. It's just saying, oof, I see how the price may be a bit contentious. I mean, I did, but the whole expiation pass, and happy with that, even if I have not the latest DLC yet. Yeah, I think that maybe the expansion pass or the season pass is the way to go with this. To be honest, her Profiteer is very powerful, easy to get your renown up fast. Profiteer, I'm not sure where that is. Sorry, I'm not sure what that is. Shemail. So Pikachu saying, hey Daz, yeah, hi back. Make a dwarf fortress. There we are, maybe. Rangutang's Library saying, oh my god, he's gone to the halfling dark side after playing the art talk. So I like the freedom. It's up to you if you want to go up against the stereotypes, and saying people just need to get their head around what culture is, what race used to mean in old games. Yeah, it's sort of like there is a lot of interaction, I guess, between the different areas. And look, I would be happy if it was just dwarves, like if you had your own your dwarven culture rather than trying to match them up. It certainly does make a lot of flexibility with the way that you start the game. So Pikachu saying, I'm doing a match of this game with 4 factions with one of each of the types of giant kings. Oh, there we are. Yep, that'd be pretty cool. Aristocracy, sounds more interesting. Feudal aristocracy sounds neat. Yep, okay, let's do that one. Looking back across at YouTube, so Void Spark saying hi, and Zerelius has had some sort of message redacted or retracted. I'm not sure why. Probably using capitals. Hi, Zerelius saying hello from Kurdistan. Wow, I don't think I've ever had anyone from Kurdistan before. I can't remember that. So welcome. So Muzzlepane saying, we meet again, King of all the nerds, Daz. There we are. Hi Mike G, how you going? And Eyes Shut Tight saying, yes please, Dwarven Clans for the win. There we are. Promoting units is a cool feature. Anyway, let's go with it is actually. It's what they found. It's funny because the last time I was doing a playthrough, I went back to feudal because I was thinking, no one ever plays it anymore, and it was sort of funny because the devs had been also working on then trying to make it more meaningful. And so my last run of the Age of Wonders 4, it was literally about a week after I started playing it that it was I abandoned it because it was just like, oh, this is we're actually now going to have a completely different way of playing the game, which we now have. And so this is base game stuff. This is not this is not coming from anywhere. So we'll play with aristocracy. So your cities form powerful houses. That will make the heroes and the armies that we end up getting be a lot more meaningful with the way that we sort of end up playing. So we'll just go and pick on that one through there. So we're going with the authority of aristocracy for the feudal system, which will give us sort of like some interesting base units as well. Just go and close that and select. Now we have how we want these to go. Now if we go back to, where's our one that we just chose? Here we go, Subterranean Society. So they know the earth is like no other, favouring the depths of the realm to the turbulent surface. Now, should we build... Look, we probably have to go back, don't we? If we're going to play this one, we don't start underground, necessarily. So I think that this one would work better if the dwarves were an underground race. So I'm going to go back.
What is their origin?
We'll go back to the dwarfkin and we'll just change what we have through here. So we've got tough, we've got defensive tactics, and then we have underground adaptation there. So we've got hardy there, which gives 8 hit points. We've got tough as well, which gives us the defense and resistance against melee attacks. And then we've got defensive tactics. I think that they and those work well together. So let's just go back to the hardy. We'll select that one and go back up to underground adaptation. So we'll just go and confirm that one and select. So we'll just change these slightly. Go to aristocracy, select.
What defines their
Then we've got
society?
the, we'll go down and pick that particular new one, which is the, where is it? Subterranean Society. So we'll go that way. That will then sort of make it a bit more thematic. Now the other one that we'll probably end up getting, then we've now got one order affinity because we've gone with the feudal system. We've got one of the nature affinities, and we've also got one of the materium affinities. Now I'm thinking I prefer to go more materium. So we've got wonder architects, so they're inspired by unique constructions of the ancient wonders of old. And so ancient wonders do not require population in order to annex a city. And so cities gain 20 production per annexed wonder. I'll go that way. Runesmiths, unit enchantment research costs minus 40% knowledge for unlock, and unit enchantments cost minus 30% upkeep. That's actually pretty cool. This would allow us then to go and become the rock monsters, essentially, the new litho types, whatever they are. So we could do that one. Runesmiths would sort of work. Reclaimers, perfection, this one here, they demand perfection of their artisans, taking time to build marvels like no other. So city structures cost 100% more production, but grant +1 city stability and +5 gold in addition to their normal effects. So that's for structures. So these are... Yep, so that's that would sort of almost work pretty well with this whole feudal system that we've actually got. Just where the more that we build slowly, but we do actually have, and yeah, racial units, racial unit tier 3 units have +1 rank. Racial unit tier 3 units have +1 rank. Okay, you start with an extra tier 3 unit. That's actually not bad. That sort of works for me, I think. We've also got things, for example, like the equipment hoarders, gain a tier 2-3 hero item after clearing an ancient wonder or infestation. We're not going to have very many of those on this map, so let's not do that one. Great builders, cities gain +2 gold per quarry in their domain. Perfection, yeah, this one here. That's another one that's come through the Pantheon as well. I think we'll just go that way. Let's go and click that one. So we've got those 2 traits. So that's our society traits. So again, we're seeing, like, it's quite unique, the way the game sort of is set up. So Nighty is saying subterranean dwarves, they really dig deep, yes. Now, we do actually have, and this, we do want to sort of keep on going with more materium, I think. We've now got 4 materium up there. And what we should have a look at is, if we have a look at the tome library, back over through, now that's going to go back. So we can't look at the library here just yet. We'll have a look at that when we get into the game, because I do want to sort of track through into the new types. So this for me actually is perfect. Like, this is our spell tempered shields. We end up with awakening tools back and through here. Copper golems. These are sorts of going to be these are going to be quite thematic with what we have. So with the way that we're going, Tome of the Rock, get gargoyles. Obsidian weapons are great. Stone skin is great. So these sorts of things would also be very, very good. Then we've got Earthkin down through this other side. we've got mountain, so we can then go through the mountains. What else have we got? We've got alchemy, discipline, monks, tome of beasts, evolution, this draconian type thing, tome of roots, zeal, faith, they're old, necromancy, cryomancy, these are the old ones. Tentacle is a newish one, which is very, very powerful. Warding, evocation, pyromancy works for me as well, to be honest, even though we're going to be going sort of more of a stone aspect. But we could get the pyromancer, that one there with the fiery arrows, searing blades, the tome of the horde. Not so much that one there. I think we're back here, you know, between these two here. Tome of the rock. Or tome of enchantment. I think we'll go this way, get the strength. So we'll just go this way with the more materium. So we've got 4 materium at the moment. So we'll just go and select that one.
What is your ruler's origin?
And that's going to then sort of open up the materium for us anyway. Yep, so yeah, I shut tight saying yes please, Dwarven clans for the win, there we are. Yep, so promoting units is a cool feature. Yeah, it's I think that is, like, again, Igor sort of saying that in the YouTube chat there. And Sprocket Picklebottom saying, hi Daz, hi all. Korosami saying, love the art style and UI in this game, very clean. It's great actually, this game really does do such a good job of going back and just keeping on sort of chopping and changing, which you'll see when we do this next little portion. This is new in the base game, so this what we're going to be looking at now will be the Ogre update, which is free. So we're just going to go across to the Giant Kings. So this is a formidable giant refashioning realms with the elemental force of the clan of fire, rock, storm, and frost. So we've got the 4 different giant types. So we'll go that way. We'll select this particular unit, and so we have a storm giant. So they can essentially end up all of the giants forge. Start off with the item forge. So this is actually one of their things. They have a powerful storm run still. So summon a storm run still on the target surface province, which will appear on an empty hex and terraform surrounding the provinces every turn. Provinces on river water gain other things in through there. These are the giant king governors. So yeah, anyway, we're going to go to rock. So I won't spend too much time with these. These have got the rock run still back in through here, which will appear on empty hex and terraform surrounding provinces every turn. Provinces with mountains or stalagmites provide +3 production. That's important for us to know. Giant kings are giant king governors, and through that other side. And giant kings have a 5 mana unit upkeep and cannot equip mount items, so we can't use mounts using the giants. They're all the same. We've got a fire giant there as well, just for the completion. You can see a fire giant and also a frost giant. So we've got the 4 different types of giants. So we'll go and select that one. Now we get to personalize. Now I don't mind the overall look of this one, to be honest. Already it's sort of it looks pretty cool with our dwarves in behind it, which looks great. So Nightia saying, why need mounts when you are the mount in itself? Anyway, so what they've done is they've tried to make this more just easier to control through the base game. So if we have a look, we've got the race as well. If I go, I'll start with the race and we'll sort of work our way forward with these guys. And so we've got the arm length. I'll just keep them all in the middle. The army's skin color, I'm happy enough with that, to be honest. The body shape, you can then go and sort of and override the dwarven capacity, so you can sort of make them look a little bit more unusual, just with the sort of like the different approaches. So you do actually have a body sort of shape aspect to it if you're wanting to do it, or you just go back to the default dwarven shape. So you do actually have, and so what they've done is they've done a lot of this, where instead of actually tweaking different buttons and stuff like that, you then actually end up with a graphic to show what's going on. Also, I should point out, before we even get to this, we do actually have something where at the moment we're looking at it sort of in the like it's got a thematic lighting, but I can click on this to change it to daylight, so we can sort of see what it looks like in daylight or in the sort of the subterranean sort of look to it. So we do actually have this new lighting feature as well, and that's sort of now just base game, I believe. So Okay, so Belladonna's saying, hi all, a great game, but this DLC price is the same price as Distant Worlds 2 is currently. Wow, okay. I thought that Distant Worlds 2 was not on special, but maybe it is. Can you show us the cosmetic options? Yes, I will. Yeah, we'll go through all those. So voice overrides, you also then have different override of the voices. Now, I probably will just keep this the same as well, but you can change it if you're wanting to sort of go with the voice style of other factions, including the factions that have come in from other DLCs. So you've got like a whole range of them in through here as well. I'll just keep them with the dwarven voice overrides, which again, it's pretty cool what they've done with that one. The physique, we can sort of change. I'll make them a little bit more meaty. I'll just make them that side there. The army armor color, I'll just go and change these down to something a bit more dark. Maybe sort of this one here, a bit more bronze and gold. And the army hair color, we're seeing a little bit of it there. If we go with something a bit lighter, yep, that'll do me. The army skin decoration, I don't really want any of this, to be honest, but we can if we wanted to. We could actually sort of, we're not going to see it really, unless we sort of end up with stuff on their faces. I don't know, that's not too bad actually, is it? Yeah, I don't mind that. Let's go that way. The army mount type, now this is the, we're using boars in through this other side, but we did pick up that new one, didn't we? We picked up this litherite crystal mount. I won't use it. It looks a bit weird. It looks very weird. Now we also picked up. We also have the cave bear, the cavern bear. That would be thematic. Where's the cavern bear? It's hard to see what the name is. But the saber tooth. These are Pantheon. So it would be one of these. Is that the one? Can't really sort of see it there. I think we'll go with a cave bear. I think that this was this the one that we picked up? We have this unusual one, this sort of bear with the like it's more of a forest bear, that one, like a forest bearish sort of type. We've got the giant hounds, tigers, lions. I'm thinking it has to be this one here. This has to be the cave bear. So we'll go that way. We'll mount. We'll use the cave bear mounts, which we just unlocked. So oh, it's a giant badger, is it? Where's the cave bear? We did unlock one. Was that it there? Oh, it is a giant badger. Badger mole vibes. Yeah, let's go with that one. So the cave bear is a badger and bear hybrid. Okay, let's go that way. We'll just go that way. So we'll show you something a bit new, something a bit different. Before we go back to the ruler, let's now just quickly go and change what we have through here. So we'll just change our... so we do actually have... And they sorted this out a little bit of time ago. So we've got like different Giant King symbols. So I'll go and grab this hammer, I think, for the Materium. So we'll make that our actual shape. And then we've got the colours as well. I don't mind the red, to be honest. And then we'll go and choose, what's yellow like? That's not bad. Black. Dark red. We'll go yellow. Alright, so we'll go with that one. So we're using a Giant King symbol there as well, just for the for our actual force. We'll go back to the ruler. And so with the Giant Kings themselves, now the class is very, very important that we sort of then go and choose. So we'll start off with that, I think, and just work our way down the list. So what we end up having is we do end up having a... now, I don't know if Spellblade was one that you have unlocked through the Pantheon, but I'm thinking we'll play that way anyway. But we've got like Defender, so a hero class that specialises in defending its allies, survivability and retaliation. We've got a Mage. Now, when I click these, they then carry around these plinths, and the plinth is essentially going to be, or this obelisks. So that was the name I was trying to think of yesterday, actually, obelisk. And so they do actually have things like, for example, the obelisk or the bone obelisk. And so these are their magical. This is what they use for magic. And so the mage will then just sort of use one of these two things. And I'll come back to actually the defender has a few different, like it's got the warhammer or the bone warhammer. So they're the two different types of weapons that the defender has. The ritualist is another, like this is more of a support hero, which doesn't feel thematic for giants, to be honest. Even the mage doesn't feel thematic. And again, we just got the obelisk types in through there. So for the ritualist, so much more of a support unit. Warrior, hero class that specializes, actually the ritualist, I'll just read each of these. So hero class that specializes in support through healing, buffs, and combat summons. Doesn't feel very giant-like. Warrior, hero class that specializes in charge attacks, dealing damage, and gaining strength through fighting. That would sort of work. And so again, we've got now giant axes. We've got the warhammer again as well. I think I'll stick with the warhammer because it's the same as the as what we end up having through there. So I've got the warrior. We've got the death knight. Hero class that specializes in high damage melee attacks, backed up by debuffs and summoned undead units. So that's not really going to work for us, for the simple reason that this one comes with a mount as well as a base unit. Like if I go and grab it, it's just a charging giant essentially. But the Spellblade is an unusual one. Hero class that uses both melee and magic attacks to deal magic damage from a distance and physical damage when the enemy gets close. So we'll go Spellblade. This opens up a whole other tree of development for our units, and we'll go back to the Warhammer. So I'll sort of make use of that one through there. So that's going to be the class. The class is very, very important for your level ups. Very, very important. So that's sort of, you always make sure you check that before you do sort of too much else. The body type, we've either got male or female. Does anyone have a choice, a preference? So we're going to go with that's a female giant in through there. Then we've just got the male sort of versions, which they're coming in with sort of like random looks to them, with the way that they sort of look. If anyone, I can always go back and change that, but I'll just keep on sort of moving forward. So Ninth Year saying magic giants, what's wrong with them? I just think both are cool. Female giants look better. Okay, well let's go female. Go to the female body type. So then we can chop and change these, of course. So this one had the whole. This one's got the geomancy sort of thing happening on the inside there. Physique, and so we've got sort of essentially from very thin to very sort of thick. I'll just go middle of the road. Arm length. These sort of have overly long arms, but I might just go back a bit shorter. The hand size, you've got then the actual size of the hands themselves. I'll just make them also a bit smaller. Then you've got the leg length as well, and I'll probably make this one just middle of the road. So you've essentially got sort of like a whole range of different leg lengths there for the actual giants themselves. So I'll go middle there. The skin colour, I'll just keep it the same sort of colour I think as the others, or I could go more coppery. Do something like that. The skin decorations, back in through this other side, so we can actually have a bit of a look. And so if I go back to nothing, this is just purely flesh. Then we have like a whole range of different sorts of paintings on the actual on the forms themselves. And again, do we have anything? There's nothing much there really, is there, that's going to sort of I might just go back to nothing at this stage with the skin decorations. The pose won't really matter for what we're doing. If you just keep the standard pose, you can then at least see the weapon that they've got. I'm glad that they default back to this one. This is a feedback I've been giving since the game released, so it's pretty cool. The hair color, now at the moment we've got no hair, so this has been turned off. The head size as well, I'll just go and make it so that it's just middle. The head, now we've got a whole range of different sorts of heads that we can use through here. So these sorts of ones, that one there, Cyclops, got helmets. I don't mind the helmet, to be honest. I think that looks pretty cool with what we sort of have. So there's a whole range of them. The rock mask. Back in through that other side. I think I'll just go back to we've got even two-headed ogre type heads. Then we've got like a one that's sort of encased. That actually doesn't look too bad, actually. I don't mind that. But we'll go back. What's this one here? That one looks really quite cool. We'll go that one, I think. Yeah, we'll go that one for or this one here. I like the half stone mask look. Oh, okay, we'll play that. Why not? It's not really going to matter that much. Let's go that way. Okay, so that's her stone mask. Yeah, Cosmoro saying that one is good. There's some pretty good ones in here. Just go that way anyway. So we'll just use the stone mask. And then we've got the eye colour. Now we're not going to see the eye colour because of the mask, so that's not going to happen. But we now actually have the hair colours. So we've got so we're going to sort of like yellow. I think I'll just keep it sort of more neutral, and then the hair colour bottom as well. So that's that one's that one there. Just change that to also be fairly just brown or something, sort of earth-like, rock-like, with what we end up having there and through that other side. Then we have the cape. So if I just sort of zoom back out again, we then actually have the it should be the body type. In terms of the this middle bit, that must be doing what we're doing here with the outfit. We'll start with the outfit. Yeah, that's what we've got there. So we've sort of got like different looks. Goes from sort of that look there. Bit heavier. That one's I like the look of them looking like they're actually like working in a forge, because that's more thematic with what we end up having. That one looks pretty good with the armor, actually. And then we've got just rock pieces, or not rock pieces, bone pieces and things. Or is it mushrooms? It's mushrooms. For me, it's either this one or this one. I think I'll go that one there. So it looks like the craftsman's outfit. Yeah, looks like Giant Smiths from Dominions. Yeah, well, it's this is, I'm sort of thinking of more like a forged giant. With the hammer, I think that sort of works. And then we've got the cape. So the cape, we have sort of like that type of cape, which actually that doesn't look too bad. These are all going to look good, I think. That one looks good as well. These ones probably not so much. I probably like the first one, actually. Just that sort of style, that sort of approach. We are clipping through the back, of course. Well, there's a little hole in the back of the cape just to allow the hammer to rest in it. So, but anyway, that's the maybe that cape there. I think we'll do, or the big one. Maybe the big one. Again, this one also comes equipped with a little hole just for the hammer. All right, so we've got all those things. The armor color. I'll change that back to a more of a gold color. Let's just go that way. All right, that'll do. Select. So again, we can do a lot with this. You know, like it's really quite nice what they've done. Again, the game is just such a beautiful game. So go and select that. We've done everything we needed to there. So we've gone through the rule, we've gone through the race. So Giant Queen, Fajala, Claycook. I like Fajala, don't like Claycook. The Valiant Dwarves, I'll keep that one as well. Thistledown, I don't like that. So we'll just go and rejig these. Mound Maker, Berkshire, no. Bulletin, I like that. Hillox, so Fajala Hillock Smith, no, don't like that. Berg Baker, Quartz Singer, that'll do. Okay, so this will be Fajala Quartz Singer from the Valiant Dwarves of Bulletin. So that will actually then sort of work in fairly well. So, and the ambition that we've got is Instructor, which I think is actually not bad. So I think we'll keep that one there. AI Personality would just be the default, whatever that happens to be, if the AI is playing as this one. So she is going to be in charge of these underground dwarves. Go onward. Now you can always go back and re-edit what you've done, by the way. So, so Belladonna saying, hi all, great game, but this DLC price is the same price as... sorry, we did that one. Sorry, I've already done that comment. Yeah, so mindful having a hole for the hammer. Yes, it is indeed. They never fixed the weapon clipping, yes. So, and Shamala saying, Privateer is super overpowered. What are you talking about with Privateer? I'm not sure what you mean by Privateer. Yeah, I don't know what you mean. Sorry, Shamal. You mentioned that one before, and I just don't know what you're talking about. Do you mean the class, the the one that's going through? I'm not getting what you mean. The ambition is privateer. Oh, yeah. Okay. Sorry, I didn't realise. Too late. You get renowned for clearing stuff at sea. Oh, okay. Which we don't have. We probably won't have much sea anyway. That's all right. So, Fajala, Court Singer, new hero emerges. Explore your surroundings and expand your domain. Prepare to face your rivals and become the master of your realm. Your choices will shape the new age of wonders. So we've got the Tome of Enchantment. We start off that way. The Vigilant Dwarves, Dwarfkin, feudal aristocracy, back and through this other side. Defensive tactics, tough with underground adaptation, so we're starting underground. Subterranean society, back and through this other side again. Underground passages grant +2 Imperium. That's going to be good. And then we've got the perfectionist artisans, so they demand perfection of their artisans. Yep, so with this one here we end up with the city structures are going to cost us a lot more to build. Well, it's going to cost us more production. So we're probably going to have to buy them initially, I think, just to sort of make a bit of headway with what we require. So the production itself is going to be a bit slow. So they've done a lot of work with the actual base game. We'll just use starting magic. We've got the summon the copper golem is in here right away. A tier 1 polearm unit. Probably won't need that one. And call militia. Neither of these is really anything that I require with the starting magic, unfortunately. So we'll just go back into the arcane research, and all of these are going to be useful. So we've got the Sundering Blades, which is going to be useful for shock units, polearms, shield units. We've got 3 of those in our army. We also then have the Spell-Tempered Shields, which, when entering defensive mode, this unit and all adjacent allies receive +1 resistance until the start of the next turn. That's not fantastic. It's sort of a bit helpful. Yeah, and then we've got the Purging Arrows. We've only got 1 range unit in our army. I think the Sundering Blades. So grants base melee attacks of enchanted units, so 90% chance of inflicting sundered defense, reducing the enemy defense, demolisher, making them able to just... this one is a good one. So we'll go with that one through there, the Sundering Blades. Orders required, so we do actually have, as we sort of zoom into the actual location itself. So this is Bulletin. What can we see? We just go back out. So we're on the edge of the map. So not a massive map. So we'll start to have to sort of explore our way around. We need to find a way up as well. We do actually have a gold stash over there. Not much else. We've got mushroom forest there, stalagmites there, which is going to be important to us, and not much else. Now we do start off with the ability to break open the underground a little bit. So we'll be looking to do that. And we do actually have ourselves a food stash, which is actually hidden in that location. So I'll go with... I'm going to split up my forces here. I'll just send one of the group out. So this is just one of our archer unit. Move that one across to there. Oops, hang on. So that's going to help with the growth of that particular town. And we'll just start to whittle away at everything, because we can actually now go and do excavation right from the start. So we'll get everyone sort of excavating, so we can sort of see what we're dealing with around our area. Now the scout, I think I'll send the scout up this way. And again, I'll just stay close to the edge. We will dig this as well. Can't reach that one, but I can reach this one. Alright, now we'll eventually bring our forces back together to do different things. Now we've got another one there that we need to get rid of, so I'll just go and move one of these. We do actually start off with a tier 3 Liege Guard unit. So this is a high level shield unit. So we'll I'll just send one of the lower quality shield units out this way to do a bit of exploring. So this is the edge of the map essentially. So I'll just move that one across, and we'll dig this one out. Oops. Town of Province. Why can't we do that? Is that the whole area? Just go to this one here. It looks like it is. Okay, well that was a bit of a waste. I thought that that was actually two different areas. Yeah, it's just all one big area. Okay, so I'm just using, that was just using the economic overview just to sort of see where the different provinces sit. So that was a bit of a waste. We've still got other areas that we can get to, so let's go and move down into this area. And we've got more at the bottom there as well.
Yeah.
Now she can travel further, so let's move her all the way down to here. You don't get as much loot as you used to, but you also don't get the enemies that spawn. There's a way out there. All right, so we'll look at that, and then we've just got this last one here. Well, we're not really exploring up the top there, so I'll bring this one up this way. Now, they've also just recently changed with the Ogre update the way that sieges work, so I'm not sure how that will actually then play out. So we'll have a look at that one through there. Cosmora is saying 30 gigabytes Ogre update on Steam. Has an Ogre in its name, yeah, so that's big. There's a lot of changes to the Ogre update, which is the free update. So we've got the buildings that we're now going to get. Now, if we have I always like to just turn on this one to see what we're going to be able to build. So we can build back at our home territory. We do actually have a fungus field back in through there, which isn't going to really sort of do anything for us. We've got a quarry that can be built there. We have a mine that can be built there for money. And we have an area here where we can get mana. At the moment, our mana is going up at plus 16, and we've got the gold income in through there as well. The further afield, we're not really sort of seeing too much. We'll see. We'll uncover more when we break through these areas. We'll end up with more opportunities, like a lot more opportunities in through there. So the underground has had a complete rework, just in terms of the layouts and making it more viable if you do start off underground, which is another reason I wanted to test it out, to sort of see how things were going. I'll just go back and turn that one off. Yeah, so in this case, so we're going to end up with quarries probably initially and mana back in through that side. So let's just now go into the build. And so we don't actually have anything that's boosted at this stage. You can see that this is going to be doubling the price. So the workshop is boosted by a farm. Now the farm will be late coming because that will be in this area here, so that in the fungus forest. So we've got the workshop, which is boosted by a farm. The vendor is boosted by a farm as well. Getting a farm would actually then halve the cost, halve the time there, or you make the time a lot shorter. The shrine requires a quarry, which we'll get pretty early on. The library requires a forester, which we're not going to really go and get. And then the house hunting grounds in through here require another forester. So the one thing when we're not really sort of seeing the mana structure sort of really sort of showing up there at all. So if we're looking at two foresters, a quarry, and then we've got the vendor through farm. So if getting a farm early is probably going to be fairly important. So I don't think I'll get either of these two just yet. The quarry we will get early. So I'm thinking it's one of these two. The house hunting grounds is going to give me 10 food income and 5 draft. So let's just go to that one there and just go and select it. To hurry the production there is 520 at the moment. So we'll need to save up, and we will need to do this with this particular unit. We are attracting more population. One more turn and we can then go and get one of these other locations. And then we've got the different units down through this other side. Now, at the moment, we can only get the Tier 1 Defender and the Tier 1 Archer back in through here as well. So we've got the... now, we've already got 3 Defenders, so I'm thinking we need an Archer. So I'll go that way. Just grab one of those. And so we'll start to sort of build up our forces. Right, well, that's pretty much everything we need to do this turn. Through the different different units. All right, what did we end up getting? So Bulletin can now annex its first province. So really, probably getting this in through here would be the important one. So we'll just go across. Getting mana will be important, but getting production will also be important. So let's just go and build a quarry in here, which is going to give us 30 production. If we got that one through there, it's 20 with 5 with the mine. You've got the mine income there. And the Giant King Governor does prefer to have the quarries. So that's going to be so the quarry, like we get a boost with the quarry. In fact, I ultimately get another quarry there as well. But I'll just get this one. It's going to give me 30. So that's going to now boost what we can then go and do. Let's just go back into the castle. And if we have a bit of a look, this is now going to be 6 turns to go and get this. But the shrine is now boosted. If we wanted to get it, we can get that in 5 turns, 7 turns for the library. Actually, 7 turns for all of those except for the surf quarters. That's okay. Look, I'll just keep it going because we've now really pushed our production up with the addition of that quarry. So it's going to make building these cities, building the buildings actually more viable. Area excavated. We've got a gold area has been found down through there. There is actually an item there. That's a solid rock. Okay, we've got that one, and we'll just bring her back this way. And dig through here. Now there's a passageway down that way, but we need to get rid of this one first. Okay. What else do we find? Yep, the gold vein was found back up through here. There's a couple up through here, which is actually pretty cool. So we'll need to go and sort of expand out through those. Let's go and move this one across. I want to go this way to see what's there. I can come back 3. Yep, so at that point we've got solid bedrock there. So I can bring this one back down to then do this one. So just keep on expanding these. Now, again, we'll just keep on expanding through to see what's where. When you're playing the game, by the way, here we go. We can get rid of this one now. When you're playing the game and you're looking at the different stacks, I'm thinking if you're new to the game, it can look a bit confusing to try to figure out whether these things are dangerous or not when you sort of open them up. And I'll just zoom in a little bit. And this has always been the way with Age of Wonders, is if you look at the actual, at the banner itself, when you see the skull is indicating that it's sort of like a rogue element, like something that's sort of outside of the normal field of play type thing. So these are sort of going to be like just environmental units we have to then go and kill off. They don't help each other, so if I attack one, they're not going to join up and defend each other. The fact that it's also a white on black is indicating that it's actually it's a defensive unit. If it was red, then we'd end up with something that's a wandering unit, which we then have to be more careful of. And we'll see them as we get into it. So all of these are just defending locations all the way through if they've got the black and white banner, which they all have. So they've all just got that. That's why when I come across them, I'm not panicking trying to get out of their way or get more protection or anything like that. I don't need to worry about that. Now we have found another. We've got that one under control. Let's just go and maybe look at the back end here. Yeah, that's solid bedrock there now. This should be the edge of the map, I think. Yeah, that's all just bedrock. This unit will just go and grab that stack. So more food. That's going to help again with our growth. And there's nothing much else we can see down that way. Yeah, so Cosmo is saying the underground looks much better. It's actually, we've unfortunately sort of ended up in an area that looks very similar to what we normally have. But there will be areas, and we can sort of see shapes like you can see that there's something unusual there. And we're going to find a lot of these sorts of things on the maps as we sort of look around. We'll see if, yeah, there's the crystal city, I think. So that's that. When we discover that one, that will be the Crystal City. This is again a bit more of an unusual structure with unusual structures down through here as well. And so the underground has become much more immersive with the additions in this. Like there's so much more in it. Like even little pockets of something else in there. You can see there the overall shape is much more interesting than what it has been in the past. Like it's actually very cool what they've done through there. There's another little structure. So there's a lot. The immersion factor in the game with these additions makes it really high. This is when I was playing it, I was sort of blown away that it wasn't changing the game mechanics very much, but it was really making the immersion go sky high. So you know, the DLC does a very good job of doing that. Tia saying feels very amusing indeed and mysterious. Yes, it's very cool. And the above ground as well. Like if I go to the above ground, we're not going to be able to see much until we get up there. But there will be themed areas. So we've seen this one. We will be coming out through here. But there are now themed areas which we probably won't see until we're actually up there, I don't think. But it's interesting. We're only there in the underground. We're over there. If I just go back up top again. Oh no, that's the same place. That's alright. That's okay. We'll just keep on going in. Yeah, it's very cool the way it's sort of working. Now we can grab even another province. So now we'd be wanting to go and pick up this province here ultimately. This one is going to give us a big boost. There's 2 iron deposits in there as well. And so we'll be needing to get another quarry there. And they'll then set up a whole quarry area. Now the money is going to be important, but so is the mana. Now we don't pick up much with the mana. I can get a farm down this way, which will then boost the income, but only by 5 food. So that's not really going to help me much. The mana in through here, if I build a conduit, I get another plus 25. I think that's worth getting early, just so we can sort of start to get on top of the mana. I do like that to be a factor. Yeah, I'll go that way. Yeah, we'll build the conduit. Let's have a quick look inside here again. So we've got 6 turns before this one comes through. We've got 202 this way now. Still need 478 to be able to go and do anything else there. Then we've picked up another bit of loot there, production stash. And we found that one as well. Orders required. So I might as well pick up this, which would give us a bit of a boost. So we picked up 79, which is worth a couple of turns worth, I think. If we have a look at Fullerton, we can see there we're getting 40 production at this point in time with what it's actually building. And so that gave us almost like 2 turns worth of building, which has now reduced this from 6 to 4. So we're now down to 4 turns left, which may make it now, it's down to 320. So we can still can't afford to buy it outright. But that's sort of all helpful. If we move down, we're doing that one. Let's just move across and just keep on sort of scouting our way through. This looks like it's all bedrock except for that area there. So we'll certainly expand out and just sort of see what we can actually find. So we'll end our turn here. So T5 Cats is saying, just started. How's the leader race giants? Yeah, they're great. They are very interesting. Like just with the approach. Actually, one thing we do actually have is we start off with the item forge, but we don't have any essence yet, so we can't do much with that one. We also start off with a negative. The income per turn is 40. It does cost us to have the giant, so having the giant here is should show us the negative somewhere about the cost. Like we've got we do have a cost of the giant itself to actually have this one in our stacks. So there she is in all her glory. This one as well. I might just show what we end up having through here. So we have the Giant Kings have got like 3 distinct areas. One for forging, one for essentially conjuring these animated swords, and then a third area there for hurling boulders and doing sorts of different things. And this is the theme of whatever type of giant you end up with. And so we've gone with a rock giant with what we end up having through here. So these are all different depending on what type of giant you have. The Spellblade then opens up other area, either fire or lightning, essentially, and then we sort of move through like a spell system here. This can be done through any of the actual units that you end up with if they're a Spellblade. Then we have their signature skills back over here again. I really like what they've done with this. It makes the leveling up of units so much more immersive again with what they've actually done. So Fix-It saying, do you ever do the story in Age of Wonders or just the skirmish? I played the story a little bit when the game first came out, but only because I thought it was going to be a good way for people to learn how to play the game. So I just wanted to play it a little bit to see if it stepped people through in a nice way, which it does. So it's actually pretty good through there. So Sprocket's saying, are you going to focus on building tall or wide? I'm going to probably go wide, I think. I think we'll end up with extra cities because that's going to be interesting for us to go and do that. So I do want to actually end up with other cities, and I think we'll try to get above ground and do that fairly early on. So we'll end up with sort of like a new city up above if we can. And hi Voxter, how are you going? So... and then we've got Sprocket saying maybe getting more towns is better. Look, it's because we're playing with the aristocracy in feudal. That's going to make those cities much more interesting. So are the underground changes in the Ogre update or just the DLC? A bit of both, I believe. I think it's a bit of both. But I think there's more thematic areas in the DLC. Like they're sort of more contained and themed. Whereas I think the Ogre update just does a better job of the layout of the actual underground. So that's my understanding as to how they actually do work. Usually the campaign is an introduction to the game, which it does a good job of that. Okay, so Bioff is saying, and what was that underground dungeon trait? Is that something that comes later, or is that a Pantheon thing? The underground dungeon trait, I'm not sure which one you mean. We started off with subterranean something or others. That's actually, and so if we go in to have a look at we've got the rock giant through there. Where the ruler, where's our group? Spellblade. I'll just go and close that. I think diplomacy is probably the easiest way to look at this. Yeah, the Valiant Dwarves. Yeah, so this is the Subterranean Society. This is actually a Pantheon expansion. So this one gives us underground cities gain 20% more food income. So maybe we should start underground. So excavation of underground provinces has a chance of uncovering additional resource nodes, which is what we've seen up there with the extra things we ended up getting. So in the starting bonus we have is excavation. I think we get that anyway with this. Start underground. Oh no. Oh yeah, no, we do. We do started off with excavation there and with this, but that's okay. I wanted to make sure that we did start underground. It's going to give us a bit of a boost. So if we find another largish area, yeah, we will definitely build another city. So so BLD is saying, I think it's it's a spell. Actually, one thing we're going to look at was the spell books. So if we go and have a look at actually, where is it? It's we're researching that one. When we've got this next research, we'll have a bit of a look at what we're doing. Actually, I can still click on it there, I guess, and have a bit of a look. So so if we go and show the tome library, so we have a few new ones now that we can sort of then aim for, and I think we will aim for these. We've got the Tome of Enchantment, which is what we're getting through there. Tome of the Dungeon Depths is the one that we did want to actually sort of go for. So this will end up giving us the Clay Forge, the Underground Vaults, which we'll have a look at when we get to this one, I guess. This is a +2 Materium Affinity as well. This is an Affinity one. Then we've got the Tome of Artificing. This is old. Construct, Shades, Geomancy is Tier 3. And this is another one where we've got a little bit of, we end up with a little bit in through here with Materium and also with Astral, where we end up getting the Geomancer and so we end up going with different types of like summoning at different elementals, things like that. So they're the 2 new tomes that we end up getting in through there, which should be good. So we'll keep on heading down in this particular direction. Just hide the tome library and close that one. So just keep on going. We're 3 turns away from Sundering Blades. All right, gold vein has been found in through there, and so we can see that we've got double what we've got there as well, and that's because of who we are. So I think we stay mainly underground. And again, these have doubled up as well. So these are pretty cool with what we're sort of seeing with these. Okay, we've got the now this is actually, we've excavated a haunted graveyard. We have to get rid of this, and so what we see is that these are asleep at the moment, but they're red, which means it's a spawner. So this becomes more dangerous for us, and so we've got a couple of wyverns back in through there. So we'll have to come back for that. What we don't want to be doing is sitting inside their area, although there is a mana stash there. So we'll just quickly go across, and we'll come back down now and start to sort of get our forces ready, because the haunted graveyard, if we stay in it, what's going to happen is they will actually then wake up if we keep on going into their territory. So we want to make sure that they don't wake up, because when they wake up, they're going to spawn another stack, and then we have to kill 2 stacks. So we'll get rid of that then pretty much straight away. So we'll move this one across, and again, that one, there's nothing much else down this way that we need to worry about, so we'll bring this one back up as well. And she... really, we want her up this way as well now. God, it looks good. Such a great looking game. So immersive. And so even though we've sort of opened up these areas, I'll let the scout just handle all those. We'll just get our forces back. Now we're going to have our archer unit will be coming very, very soon. So 2 turns to get the archer unit. The hunting grounds, we've got 302 now. I can buy it and save myself 3 turns with this. I don't think it's worth it with the money at this stage. We don't really have a real lot of money. Orders required. And so we'll just keep on expanding through here. Looks like we've got... that one may just be normal rock there. Either way. Yeah, there's a cavern through that way. So we'll open this cavern up. And that may give us another location in here that we can then have a bit of a look at. So we'll break open that one. We'll end our turn here. So Korosami Singh, looking forward to the Distant Worlds 2 dev stream tomorrow. Yeah, it's going to be like Distant Worlds 2, of course. We've got like some really good things coming with that. I'm looking forward to playing that towards the end of the week, actually. So I'll play this for a couple of days and then move across and then keep on playing this one on a regular basis as well, now that we've got this new content. So we've now excavated this area, so we can now send our scout through the channel that's been created. And here we have a different biome underground, and we've come across another city. We'll see who this is. So this is meeting neutral Nebbington. So this is Duke Buford Weaver of the Free City of Nebbington greets you for the first time. And these are also valiant dwarves. And so salutations, it's an honour to greet you, giant queen of the valiant dwarves here nonetheless. So these are them, aren't they? Let's just have a look and see if they're worthy of our attention. So Duke Buford, yeah, these are valiant dwarves. Okay, cool. So we've actually found our nearest city. So we're going to... it's definitely wanting to befriend them, and they've actually they're on like an ice biome underground. So this is new again. We've got all these different new things that are happening, and so I'm going to give them the Whispering Stone that we actually have, and that will then sort of move them, towards us essentially. With what they're doing, only a small town though, but that'll still be helpful. So we've got the Pact of Cooperation in 6 turns, and then we'll start to sort of just keep on sort of moving that one through there. I won't boost anything because we're going to be needing our Imperium for other things. Now, it's going to be hard to like they're going to grow and block us off. So I think I'll come back, and then we'll just sort of make use of, like they'll eventually be showing us what they've got. All right, back in through here, we'll just go and start to get everyone into an area where we can then go and take out this graveyard. I don't want to go inside the actual graveyard yet. And so if we click on the actual graveyard, it should tell us. So they'll be active in 0 to 3 turns. So they're actually awakening at the moment because we were inside their territory before. So we're going to need to wipe these out pretty quickly. Now we've got a strength of 365.
Yeah.
They've got a strength of 298, so it's pretty close with what we end up having here. We've still got this unit, which can't quite get there. So I'll wait 1 turn with this, and what I think I'll do is I think I'm going to rush this unit as well. It's only 38. So we'll grab another one of those, and I'll grab another of the archers. And so she can then just come through into here, and that gives me a stack of 6 ultimately for the attack. So hopefully it doesn't spawn this next turn, otherwise we're going to then have a much more difficult fight on our hands. So we'll leave that one there. We'll end our turn. It always does. It always spawns exactly when you don't want it. Which it didn't this time. That's good. Okay, so so the spawn, as I said before there, it is awakening. So it's going to will become active in 0 to 3 turns. It's sort of like a bit of a random, it's a bit of a random sort of number that goes on through that side. So we'll go and throw that one in there. So we now actually have like a big group. We're now 465. Let's go and finish these guys off. So I'll just do a quick save. I'm always in the habit with Age of Wonders of just doing a quick save before I start, because it used to crash a lot in the earlier versions of the game. Not this game, but Age of Wonders 3. Okay, so now we actually have a... we've got our Materium. We've now gone through, and we've got we're getting +4 Materium per turn, and so we now actually have opened up this one here. So outpost. So founding and upgrading outposts takes -1 turn, and they cost -25% less gold. Now we're going to be wanting to do that one fairly soon. So I'm thinking I might just go and grab that now. So we'll just go and pick that one up. So that's now chewed up a lot of our Imperium. Let's go and close that, and spell's ready to cast. So we end up having the summon the rock run still, so which will appear on the empty hex and terraforming surrounding provinces every turn. I'm not sure where we use that, to be honest. It is a terraforming spell. I'm not sure how that one actually does work. We've got summon the copper golem as well if we wanted to, which we don't really need. Like it's going to be sort of fairly basic, and call militia as well. Summon 2 militia at the target owned town, which we don't need either. So none of those are really... I'm really just waiting for this Sundered Blades. All right, well, let's... so we can annex another province down this way. And again... growth would be very, very welcome, but so would gold. We need to clear all these things out. Like that would be great to get this, to get the 2 quarries. But I think I'll go with gold here. So I'll grab that mine. Okay, Haunted Graveyard, in we go.
Yeah.
And we can see the actual giant in action. So we'll just go and take this one on. So it says a low risk battle there. We've got 465 of our points against 298. Again, if you're new to the game, you can actually have other forces. You can have up to 3 stacks fighting, and they will fight within a certain region. Like when I go to right click on it, you'll see that there's like a red line that appears along here, and that's the limits of other stacks that can then sort of be around. It goes all the way around where the attack will take place. And so if I had another stack out inside that area, it would then pick that stack to also be part of this particular attack. But in this case, we've got like a full stack of 6 in through here. So I'll just move across. So I'm going to do manual combat. This is where, for me, the game really shines. I know some people don't like the the overall look of the game mechanics of the tactical battles. But the tactical battles, they are hard. They really are very hard. But they're also very, very cool as well. Like it's one of the best tactical battle systems that I've played in any game. And this is right from the early versions of the game. I just absolutely love it. So what we're going to have is we need to know what we've got and what they've got. And so when we have a look at our different units, we can see that we've got like 2 archers, which we're going to have to protect, and we've got 3 defenders. So they're not going to be hard hitting, but they're going to be able to defend fairly well. And then we've got our spell sword giant S in through here. On the other side, the thing I like to look at is the with these little symbols. There was a question the other day about whether to turn them off or not. I used to turn them off just for the immersion. It also then made me look and see what they were doing. But what I tend to do now is if I see a level 1 or 2, like these are level 2 skirmish units, these are level 1 sort of like basic units. This is another defender unit. We have a mage unit at the back. And so you pretty much know what you're going to get at tier 1 and 2 when you see these sort of symbols. So the symbols just tell you I've got a basic mage, I've got a basic defender, and I've really just got 2 basic types of flying skirmisher units. Now skirmisher units will often have a single range attack and then a combat attack as well. So they're not as powerful as dedicated melee type units, but if I go and click on one of these and then just click on the symbol down through the bottom here, I can then see what this actually is. This is a bone wyvern. So you can see through there, so skirmish unit is going to have its melee strike back and through this other side, and it will tell you how these work. And so in this case, it strikes an enemy unit, it can cause poisoning, and the little symbol off here is showing you that it can use 3 different attacks depending on how many action points it has left. And so in this case, it's by default, it's got 3 attacks. It's also got a poison burst down through here. This is telling us that it only takes 1 of the action points, but it doesn't do subsequent attacks. And so this is a ranged attack, and this is a melee attack that can hit multiple times. So the poison attack that we sort of see through there is it can move and then use this range attack. So often that's what they'll do. What they'll be trying to do is to get in and stop our ranged units from actually firing. So that will be what their goal will be. So we need to be either far enough back away that that doesn't happen, or we need to be close enough to start to do some damage. Now they're also slippery, which means that this unit does not trigger opportunity attacks. An opportunity attack is if it's in your zone of control, it will then, and it tries to move out of your zone of control, you then get some free shots on it, which is not the case here. These actually, and most skirmish units actually have this one, and so you see through there skirmish units, cheap and swift units that are useful in flanking and targeting lone enemies. Skirmish units gain swift and slippery. So swift is another one down through here. This one this ignores effects of slowing terrain in combat. So these are skirmishing units. That's what they do. They sort of move into advantageous positions. They're quite maneuverable. They're not really all that heavy hitting, but they're heavy hitting enough to do damage, and these are level 2s. They also will have, you'll see different bonuses or either bonuses or malices to their resistances, and in this case they've got blight resistance of 2, but then they're susceptible to fire and spirit because these are undead. These are where have we got it? We've got the you can see it's a bone wyvern essentially, so it's like an undead unit, and in fact it should be in here. There we go, undead through there. And so it has spirit and fire resistance goes down with that particular unit. It does have a little bit of frost resistance as well, being again being the undead unit that we see through there. So all the information you ever need about units is here essentially when you just click on the actual unit itself. So we've got 2 of those we have to contend with. They're going to be probably the most difficult ones for us. We then end up with just a basic rat warrior unit. So this is essentially just going to be a shield unit. So shield units are great at blocking enemies and protecting allies against physical attacks. So they're not great at actually at hitting, but they do actually have, this one has a melee strike, again up to 3 of them, depending on the action points, that does 10 damage. It's got shield bash. Now we'll have that as well. This is what you get with the shield units. It's got defensive. Yeah, shield bash is a 90% chance unit will become stunned, which is actually very, very good. So that's actually a great one. Actually, we don't have that, I don't think. So they've got different things. Overwhelm tactics will be probably because of the aggressive vermin, maybe. Yeah. So this is so the aggressive vermin. These ratlings have got overwhelmed tactics as part of their traits. So they've got that one through there. This again is where the game for me feels quite thematic the way it does work. And then we've got this another rat, like a skeleton mage, but a ratling skeleton mage in through here. So and these have got death bolts. And so these are like a ranged attack. So we need to get to this one. It does have life stealing. But if we can get to this, and it's got a shield wall because it's standing next to the shield unit at this point in time. So we'll be trying to get to this unit. They'll be trying to get to our ranged units, and then we'll just be sort of fighting in the middle essentially. So that's essentially what's going to happen. So that will be trying to be protected by this unit. These units will be trying to get into the back. Now, if we go and click on these, we can see that they can reach out to here. With my ranged units, I can reach to there, but can't get a shot in. So I'm better staying back away from where they actually are. Sometimes there'll be an ability here where they can actually rush, but there's not. So, this unit here again will be able to move to about there, I think. Skeleton mage, and then it's got this one here, which is a range, like the range of that one is 4. So that one will be able to get its shots in no matter what. We've got tier 1. We've got a tier 3 here, which does have a different ability. This is a sworn bond. So link to target friendly hero unit. So damage sustained by the linked unit is transferred to this unit. So we can actually link back to our giant if we need to protect the giant, which I won't worry about that one. These are all. So this is the liege guard that we end up having. We have some other abilities we can sort of see down through there that we've got for the liege. The liege lord is, of this unit's house is on the battlefield, so granting it plus 10 hit points and plus 5 morale. So this is actually part of the feudal mechanics that we end up having. Is that we end up if the liege, and I think the banner. I'm not sure where the banner actually is. Where have we got this one through here? It's just defensive tactics. Each of the houses has its own banner. And we don't see it in here, but essentially that will be somewhere. I can't think of where it actually is. We've got swiping melee strike, so strike at enemy targets in a 1 hex cone, which is quite powerful. This is very, very strong. We also have a hurl boulder for 30, which does, and this is, I can move in and attack with this one here. This one is at range of range 6, so this is a long range attack. So this will be important for us to pick a target that we then sort of do some damage with. And I'll pick one of these wyverns. So let's go and move at 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, does that always hit? It always hits. So let's start here. Now, if I don't like where I am, I can always just go back and undo the turn. So I can just go back and undo the last turn if I'm wanting to. But I'm happy enough with that. So just move this one across. If I start to do anything, then I can't do it. So I'm going to try to slow one of these units down. I can actually hit these as well, but I'm going to go this way. There we go, and that has been slowed. Now we can see there again that this can reach into this other area, which I'm happy enough with. What I don't want, so I want to set up another line in through here, so I'm just going to go and move this one up. They're going to have defensive tactics because they're now standing next to each other, and we're just going to put this into a shield wall mode. That will protect both units. I'm going to then grab the archer and move the archer in behind, even though we don't get a shot. They're also getting the shield wall benefit. We get the liege for the liege back and through this other side, and we'll just create it like a line running through here. Again, just shield wall, and this one here with shield wall. And I'm going to move this archer into here. And we can't really do anything with those. And so we're in a fairly strong position here. None of what they have is an area of effect attack. So if there was an area of effect attack, then we'd be in a bit of trouble. But in this case, we've got a very, very strong system. If we go and have a look at our actual leader, we can see there that she's got 7 defense, and we can see what it's made up of. In fact, if I go and click on her, we can see that the 7 defense is made up of the base of +2, defensive tactics of another +1, the shield wall because of we've got a shield unit next to us, and then the rock giant kings of +1 as well. We end up with an extra sort of defense factor because we are the rock, like a rock giant. Okay, so there we are. We'll just end our turn. Now that we'll try to get an attack in. We've been poisoned. And this one will then try to get in the way to stop us from doing different things. Now I'm not too concerned about this one. So what we'll do now is we can now move in and start to attack these different units. So I can sort of move across. This one is facing the front. You can see when I hover over that one, we've got little swords that appear where it's actually facing. So I could move in and actually hit it from behind, but I want to stop this one from moving around. So I'm going to move this one up. So the giant, so Fajala can actually move up into here. So we're not actually triggering anything that way. And we can then just, like by doing this attack, we're going to then be hitting essentially 2 of them. So, but I'll start with her. All right, now we've got these as well. We'll just go in and start to do damage. So this will be 30% to sunder their defense, which will get rid of their defensive ability. So at the moment, they're defending at 5. And so if we can get sunder defense in there, it's going to make it a bit more helpful. It's resisted, and resisted, unfortunately. Now this archer here has only got a 40% chance there. With the range that we have, it's sort of long range plus there's units in the way. If I press control, I can see what's affecting it. So we're getting minus 25% because of long range and minus 25% because of quick reflexes of the rats. And so it's harder for us to hit those particular units. If I move up, I'm then only going to get 2 shots with this. If I start to move these up, let's just do it. Yes, it goes to 65. We get 85s over there. So I'll start to move this one up. I should have started over this way, I think. Let's just go this side. Graze. We did get Sunder Defense, 2 Sunder Defenses in through there. So if we have a look at this unit to see what's going on with that one, we can see there that we've got 2 times Sunder Defense. This removes part of its defense and can stack up to 10 times. So that makes it easier for us to do damage against that particular unit. Now, if I do this, one of these is going to use the slippery to fly into this position back over here. But I can't really do much about that. I'm going to go and hit this one pretty hard. So we'll just go and skip on smacking this one. So they only had 1 retaliation there. I've got flanking moves in through this other side as well. But they're definitely going to come in behind. So I'm going to hit both of these, I think. I've been poisoned. So they'll fly, I would imagine, away from where we are. We'll end our turn. We do actually have spells, but nothing suitable for combat at this stage. It's going to have to run. Oh no, it stayed in the fight. That's interesting. It's moved around to get a flanking shot there. And it stayed in the fight as well. I got a couple of shots in there. All right. Okay, so we now have the ability to do some big flanking damage on this one. I've got an 85% chance there, and that will kill it. So I'll take that. You graze. That one's dead. That one's 65%. I'll take that one. The way that range attacks works is that there's a 65% chance to get a full attack. You saw the last one there was just a graze. If I go to the combat log, I can then sort of see what actually happened there. So it'll be the last ones in through there. So the archer uses shoot bow 3 times essentially at the back end there. Hang on, where is it? The archer uses shoot bow. We needed 65%. Essentially, what you do is you get 100 minus the 65 gives you 35. So we needed 35 to hit. And so with those through there, we have we rolled an 85 and we needed 35. We needed to get over the it's 65% chance to hit essentially. So we if we roll lower than 35, we end up not having a direct hit. But if we roll less than 25 of that, then we miss completely. So we've got a 10% chance of missing when it's 65. It's a bit convoluted the way this one works. I wish that they'd actually rethink about how to do this, because we needed a 35 to make the hit. We rolled an 85, which means we got a full hit. Then it uses a second shot, required a so this in this case the roll to hit was only 33, but it needed a 35, and so in this case we only got a graze, which only does half damage. And then the next one we rolled an 18 and we needed 35, and so there was 2 grazes, so we had some pretty unlucky rolls there. So we didn't do as much damage as we would have hoped with those particular attacks. So unfortunately that's sort of where we end up with. So we did sunder its defense, but essentially it was just a graze attack that came through in 2 of those shots, and one of them was a full damage attack. So unfortunately not really what we're looking for. I'm going to go and kill this unit with our melee attack, and melee doesn't, it can have this aspect, but doesn't tend to. I'll just go and close that one off. It's a bit convoluted, again, the way that one does actually work in the game. What I might do is I might actually go up and yeah, I can't really get to both of these. Yeah, I'll go and kill this one. Now I can move out. It will get a shot at me because we're inside its areas. I can move up to there and do some damage as well, because this one's facing us here. I can almost kill that one off. I'll take that. Get critical hits, and we did. That's going to kill it. There we are. So the critical hit was enough for us to get the extra damage that was required to do the damage, and now we can just close in on this unit, which can't use its abilities if we're standing next to it. So we'll just keep on smacking this one. It's got no retaliation, and similarly back in through here. Bang, gone. All right, so we got out of that one unscathed. But it's quite cool the way that the combat, that sort of combat does work. Now we've taken a bit of damage here, so we're going to need to heal up. Healing is much faster when you do it inside your own territory, and so that's going to be important to us. So we're just going to go and close that one off. The Wand of Fire Breath. There we are. So that's a tier 3. That's actually pretty cool. And actually, so we'll open the hero screen. And the Wand of Fire Breath can be used in there. So that will give us fire breath, fire breathing. So we'll confirm that. And we actually have an upgrade here as well. So we've gone up a level. And so now we can start the process of moving through. Now we started off with the Hurl Boulder. I don't know if we can go down to the Spellblade area. So the Giant Kings, like depending on what sort of ruler we end up having, these don't really support the what they end up having, like in terms of they're not really they're not supportive as such with the way that we've got it in terms of helping our armies, like other factions or other governors can be a little bit better at sort of trying to level up different units. We've got the Sundering Boulder, Hurl Boulder gains 10 physical damage. Or we have Large Boulder, one of the two. Now deals damage in a 1 hex radius. I think we'll go that way. We'll go with the Hurl Boulder. That's sort of fairly thematic. Confirm that one. Right, we'll close that one off. So we've now cleaned out that area. The other things we can just go back at our leisure to sort of start to damage. You can see there we've got a little bit of healing coming up. That's the yellow. Again, I've requested multiple times that they actually look at trying to make this a bit clearer, but they just don't listen. They don't listen to me. They have with some things, but not with this. It's just hard to sort of see it there. Hi, Gentleman Skeleton. How are you going? Saying, have a question so far. What has been the favourite new addition of the DLC or update? It's actually been the immersion factor of the underground, even more than the actual giants themselves. It's just I really like the way that the worlds have now become much more themed than what they were before. It's actually, I really struggle to think of a game that sort of randomizes a world at the start now, where the actual world can be so different, which is very, very cool. Like, it's really great. So to the Shark saying, wow, realms can now have 8 miscellaneous traits instead of 4. Yeah, that's part of the actual Ogre update, not really part of the DLC. Ice is new. Yes, there's a lot of new things underground. There's a lot of just little things that make the game a lot more immersive, which is great. So I really like that aspect. So I started saying, don't forget your Whispering Stone. The dwarves seem a little unhappy. Yeah, they're not all that happy with us at this stage. We will have to address that. That will be important to us to keep the city happy. So I have to have a check of that one through there. Okay, so Vox is saying, yeah, I've got addicted to Distant Worlds 2. There we are. We'll be playing that in a day or two's time. So I started saying, scrap that. You have a use for it now. Yeah, no, I've had to use it on the other city. Slobodan Tomic is saying, I wish Age of Wonders 4 kept the racial features and differences from Age of Wonders 1. Age of Wonders 4, everything kind of ends up playing the same for me. Yeah, a lot of people say that. I agree with you to a degree. I really liked Age of Wonders 1 and 2, the way that they sort of did the whole, different races liked other races type thing. But I mean, now we have sort of a bit more of a blurred. Ever since Age of Wonders 3, the actual factions have been more blurred. They're they don't just conform to the to the good neutral evil aspects which they used to. I quite like the old good neutral evil aspect of the old games personally. So Marine's saying it nice. If I wasn't dead tired, I'd be playing right now. Hi Matthew, how are you going? So anyway, we've got Sundering Blades now. We'll select new research. All of these are going to be useful to us, I think. Hold the line, no, except for this one. Awakening Tools. Okay, so this one here is a end up with better production, better draft, but lower stability. These are not great. Call to Glory. No, these are great. Hold the line. Friendly units on 1 hex rate. Get defensive masters. I was hoping for something different, to be honest. They're all 4 turns to get. I'll go that way. So we're coming back away from the ice area now. Because that's now gone to level 2. I could actually move up that way, but I'll come back down and keep on scouting around and seeing what else we can find. This is a nice little area, actually, that we've located in there. We do need to go and clear all this out. So we'll keep on sort of building up our forces. End our turn. Now we need to get back inside our territory to just do the quick healing. Got the first of our buildings. Finally. The only thing that's got boosted is the shrine, so we'll go that way. And I can hurry production if I wanted to, but I don't think I will at this stage. And again, just with the healing, I need to get back inside my territory initially, just to get the. And you can see there usually when I hover over it, will show what we can then go and do. Just move into there. We'll see this yellow goes right up. So a couple of turns inside our territory and we'll be okay. So I'll start to clear these out, so we can get things built a bit faster. Just move up and explore this whole area. Okay, that looks like it's all just bedrock up through there. We'll go up top now with this unit. End our turn again. Okay, favoured daughter. As soon as negotiations are concluded for the day, Duke Buford Weaver of Nebington requests advice concerning his useless younger daughter. Yimri is so unlike her older sisters the Duke's size. Now she walks with wizards and halflings. Well, that's not good. A true paragon of bravery and courage, whereas my youngest hides in damp caves and shoots arrows from cover like a coward, and all the while she thinks herself as lordly as a queen of old. My people favour her, even while I do not, and now she desires to prove her quality. I seek her counsel. So, my valorous captains, we will train Yimri in Bulletin. So we end up, the draft in Bulletin is blocked for 6 turns. I don't mind that. But we do get Yimri Weaver is added to our recruitment pool. And if we have a look and see what she is. Shoot bow, quick stab, cave walking. She's a ranger. She's a specialist governor. Take my wand of fire breath, claim its curse and send her off to destroy it. So we lose the wand of fire breath. We don't want that. So, but we do get the pact of cooperation immediately. Clearly the qualities are abundant. You simply fail to see them. So we lose allegiance with them. So I'm really, the only real one I can do is this top one. So draft is blocked in Bulletin for 6 turns. Well, so be it. So be it. So we'll just go that way. So she then becomes someone that we can recruit when the time comes up. So orders required. Now still going to have to heal her up. This one is 285 with some different types of elementals. But I think we do want this next. I might leave it for a turn, just to heal right up. I think we're going to have to clear out both of these. Although, if I do it now, yeah, I might do it now actually. So yeah, and that way we can sort of just stay where we are. So I'll just use her to go in. If I click on her, we still go in with the attack, and so I'll just do a quick save. But so the stack will still attack it. They'll just stay back there, and I can just walk her back out of this. So it's a low risk battle. I'll still do manual combat because I now want to try to protect her a little bit, just so that she can heal up. So is this a dwarf giant? It is indeed, Reinhardt. And yep, so we've done all the comments there. So Goodney is then saying, I have a question. I have Age of Wonders 3 in my library. Any reason to upgrade Age of Wonders 3 to Age of Wonders 4? Big or positive differences? Massive, massive positive differences. Massive. Whoa, here we go. So they're moving across. They've actually all linked. I didn't see what was happening there. Yeah, no, it is chalk and cheese. God, it's sort of like, to try to put it into perspective. The Age of Wonders 3, the goal was to end up with tier 4 units in stacks. So you end up with these sort of like these big stacks of high level units that you would then ruffle stomp through the game at the back end of the game. So that was sort of really what the goal was in Age of Wonders 3. It was very difficult to, like, once your tier 1 and 2 units were useful for half the game and then they were useless. You basically needed to replace them with the high level units. And so the overall balance of playing it, that was really the goal of how it then worked. They then went, and from Age of Wonders 3, then built Planetfall. Now, what they didn't tell us at the time was, because I was thinking, don't go to outer space, stick with Age of Wonders and make an Age of Wonders 4. But they used Planetfall because there were so many different mechanics that they wanted to test, that they used that as a skunk works for testing what may or may not work with Age of Wonders 4. And so Age of Wonders 4 has come through with all of the Age of Wonders, all the lessons learned from Age of Wonders 3 about, that your low-level units have to somehow stay useful the whole game. Combined arms are going to have to be important. All these sorts of lessons came into Planetfall. They then could test the province system and get that one fine-tuned so that when they built Age of Wonders 4, they weren't going in blind. And so Age of Wonders 4 really is the culmination of all of those other games. Plus what they then did was go back to Age of Wonders 2 primarily, and actually look at the lore from Age of Wonders 2 and try to introduce that back into Age of Wonders 4. So if you play the older games, you're going to love the different characters you come across in the actual game. Like all of the old old Age of Wonders 2 like, you know, God, you know, the Pantheon type gods are actually in the game, which is great, and they've done such a good job of it. Also, the units look good. Like in Age of Wonders 3, the units just didn't look sexy in any sort of way, whereas now they really do look good. They look very, very cool, the actual units themselves. They so for me, it really is chalk and cheese between the different sorts of between the two different games. To be honest, I just think this one is so much better. They've also done like big improvements with these maps now as well. Like the maps themselves have like this is within Age of Wonders 4 itself. The maps you'll notice are actually much more interesting than what they were before. So yes, I would highly recommend going and also the other big thing is that I often rate games on whether I need to have mods installed to actually enjoy the game. Age of Wonders 3, I had to really heavily mod to enjoy it. So that was actually a big aspect as well. Whereas with Planetfall and with Age of Wonders 4, I don't need the mods to enjoy the game because the balance is just so good. So yeah, so Reinhardt's saying, I enjoyed Planetfall a lot with their mod mechanic for each unit. Yes, everyone sort of says that. I think everyone prefers that one. Cecil's saying, Daz was totally wrong about Planetfall, and I recommend the game even if Age of Wonders 4 is out. It's different enough and still fun. It is good. Planetfall is a great game, and Planetfall is another game that you don't require mods with. But at the time when they brought Planetfall out, I was really hoping for an Age of Wonders 4. And so for me, at the time, I sort of thinking, why go to Planetfall when you could have brought out Age of Wonders 4? But the reason is it was a skunk works for Age of Wonders 4. So Planetfall is still a great game, and they did so much right in that game. It was such a great game. I wish that they had brought more DLC out for it. But Age of Wonders 4 really is the culmination now of all those other games. They've done so much right in this game. Which is why I just love it so much. Anyway, what do we got? We've got Tier 1 defensive units, Lesser Stone Spirits. Again, they're just going to have basic things in through here, nothing much really to worry about. These have got a core link. All damage to this unit is transferred to the linked unit with a 20% reduction. So these units back through here, which are new, are absorbing the actual, absorbing the damage. And so this is crystal. They've got a crystal blast, so 90% of chance of inflicting volatile charge for 2 turns, which does what? So on expiry, this unit and adjacent friendly units sustain 8 physical damage. Yeah, so if it manages to hit, it's going to hurt. Now we've got no real clear way of doing things back there. These guys aren't going to do much. There's another one there as well. So they're going to be trying to sort of break through. I'm going to move in with my standard units initially. Now we do actually have... I want to be breaking these if I can. So if I go... I've got the Fire Breath. And that always hits. And that's the range there. I didn't want to bring this one into the front. Yeah, I'll go and... So I don't need to do much there to damage all 3. I only have to move up 1. Just going to click on another unit, then come back to this one here. So if I move that one up 1... Go 2. And I can hit these. Doesn't matter which one I go for. There's crystal reflection there. So we slowed all of those. They've been damaged through the core link. together. To actually have another one there. We can't do anything else there. Right, so we'll end our turn there. That's good. They're missing this one all each time, which is actually good. And they've missed. Now we want to use the flame attack here. Now if I go and click on that, you can see we do friendly fire. So I definitely don't want to be doing friendly fire. But 90% and 50%. So I definitely want to go with the 90%. 50% means I've got a 50% chance of hitting it and doing full damage, and another 25% on top of that. So 75% chance of hitting the unit and doing some damage, 25% chance of missing. 90% means there's only a 10% chance of getting a graze. So I'll take this one on. It's damaging the one at the back. And we've got this one as well. There's only 25% chance there. Now I can't really move this one through yet, so I'll move this one around the other side. And I'm going to move this one out. Oh, actually, if I move it out, I can then do some damage with the flame. Now the flame attack, unfortunately, goes backwards, so I'd need to blast it this way. Yeah. Which means we're not going to be able to do much. I'll have to move her up. Hi Trevelyan Hart. Sony games coming up you're looking forward to? Well, really now just Age of Wonders 4 with this one, and also Distant Worlds really are the two big ones, I think. And you can see through there we do end up doing a lot of damage to all of those with our flame attacks. So we'll take this one on. They're burning. So we're doing damage to the back there. Did we destroy one of those? Yeah, we did. Good. So it took damage from this unit. 50%, 90% with 2 shots there as well. So I'll take that. Unfortunately, I think I need to get the shield wall up to try to protect our giant a little bit. And with this link, I might actually use that this time. So I can only use it on the giant. Sworn Bond. This one will now take the damage. We can't do anything with that one there. So I'll leave that one there. Alright, that's all we can do. End our turn. So Spawn Bond takes the damage. It just means that when we heal up, it's not going to be dramatically bad. So we can put pressure back on the one at the back. And that's destroyed the one at the back, which is good. You know, get the kill there with this unit. giants are strong. Very cool. That's good. Start to do some damage. Right. I was getting ready to run. So next turn we've got a little bit of, like we've spread out the damage that's been done to everyone. So this isn't going to be really a big problem. So we're going to be able to heal up pretty well. And that one's going to be running. I'll just, if I shoot this one over its head, if I just now press Control, with this one here, you can sort of see there it's got crystal reflection, status resistance. It does actually have minus 25% for long range. If I had moved this one up one more, it would then have to fire through this unit, but I can fire straight over the head of this one at this stage. So the 65, just put this into perspective. I don't know if I can do this. I think I can still do it. I'll just show it. So if I go to there, then I go to try. It's now only 25 because of this unit. So I want to move that one back, do my firing, and then move the unit in. There we are. That's good. That's destroyed it. So yeah, just again the effects of coming in with different things is quite dramatic in the game with the way it sort of does work there. In terms of the just knowing where to place units and what they do. So by not moving, by keeping that shield unit back, it allowed me much better accuracy with my archer unit, and then I can move in with the normal unit after that. So getting the order right, getting the actual hex right is critical in the tactical battles in this game. So you can see we're taking a bit of damage everywhere. Let's go and close that one. So she's now moved in. We're now just going to move back again, and then everyone will pretty much heal up for the next turn. So that's okay. We'll just leave that one where that is. This one we really don't have any more. Don't think there's anything else over this way. Just double check. Yeah, there's another way up through there. I'll explore that. We'll end our turn. We might as well get the bonuses from underground while we're here. You can see the underground is so much more engaging and bigger and better than what it has been. Just in the whole layout, they've spent a lot of attention with this. And this is not the DLC. This is the Ogre update. Okay, Mysis is in saying, I like the new customizations. I made an ogre race with small bodies and big heads. They look ridiculous, waddling around. So Matthew's sort of saying, I prefer to play with the grid on. Love the board game hex crawl feel. I can plan turns more accurately. Yeah, that's true. Oh, sorry, yeah. And so Alatan is saying, can you remove the hex grid? It's really immersion breaking and irritating to watch. Like I do tend to keep it on for the same reason, that I can then sort of see what's going on with the actual hexes. I wish it was a bit like the Stardock games, like Gal Civ, where you could actually, if you were zoomed in, it wasn't there, but if you were zoomed out, it was. But in this case, I think it's just G. Was it Shift G? Control G? H?
Yeah.
Nope. can't think of what it is. Control G? Yeah, Control G does get rid of it. I mean, I can certainly I can play either way. Yeah, so we've got sort of one that would prefer it off and another would prefer it on. But you can still see exactly where the hexes actually are. I tend to leave it on. I think I will leave it on just because for new players it's going to make it look a little bit better in terms of where you can actually move and what you can do. So we'll go Control G. Just move that and put them back on again. Sorry, sorry, Adelan. Yeah, I think we're better off when trying to show the game and explain the game to keep the hexes on. Okay, Bulletin produced the shrine, so we are sort of getting through our buildings, which is good. Now we don't have anything else that is boosted yet. Now these are all going to be coming through from the farm. We're going to be a little way off doing that one. Surf quarters going to give us food and draft. The library. Getting knowledge is going to be very important. I might just go that way, I think, even without looking to see what the boost actually was. There's a forester. Yeah, we're not going to get forester for a little while. Okay, so we'll just keep on going this side. So they've now almost completely healed up. So let's just keep on taking out these other locations. So I'll just go across into here. It's a safe battle. What I'll do here is I'll just go to auto combat now. And you see there we took a lot of damage, so now we have to go back and heal up again. So just go and close. That's why I tend to like to do things. Got the helmet. We'll open the hero screen. So she can use the helmet there. Just a little bit more defense. Confirm. And she has gone up another level as well. So we've taken this one, the large boulder, and we can now actually go into this one here, where now boulders deal damage in a 2 hex radius and has a cooldown increased by 1. This one here is hurl boulder gains 10 physical damage. I don't mind, like that's just too big an area, like, and like there's often not going to be anything else around it. So I think I'll just go this way. So that will then sort of do fairly substantial damage when we actually come to that one. Hugh David saying, "I also prefer to have the grid on." Thanks, Daz. Yeah, no, that's okay. Yeah, and Rocklight saying, "Thanks for keeping it on." It's look, each to their own. It's one of those things where often in games I will turn it off for myself, but I am mindful that it actually does give better context if you're sort of newish to the game with these sorts of things. So I know I turn it on in certain games. I'm just going to go back because these have now taken a fair bit of a beating. And we do want to clear out all these other areas at the back. But this area here now is actually going to be great for building a quarry. So a second quarry. We'll just go and click on OK there. End our turn. Okay, hold the line has now been done, which is a bit of a useless one for us. Spell Tempered Shields is probably the one we want to go with now, because we will be using shielded units a lot. This is now almost healed up. Do we want to go down this way where we can get a lot more gold? We now have this. We're going to end up with this as well. Lots of mana there as well. Mana is... We're doing okay with mana at the moment. I think what I'll do is I'll just move down into this area and we'll just go and take out these gold areas. So I'll stay in here because we need to do the healing up. Okay, we're now got a pact of cooperation with the city. So good news, proceed. So we're now just trying to get up towards pact of loyalty in 8. I won't boost because I do need to keep my Imperium. Now we have Sundering Blades. We definitely want to get that. Bulletin can now grab the other province. So we now actually have this one here. We can then go and get the quarry. This is going to give us 53 production, which is going to make building the buildings, like, we're not going to even have to worry about them costing twice as much production anymore with this. This is awesome. Yeah, with the 2 iron deposits. I really like this one where we get the double ups. It's very, very cool. So also just saw that Distant Worlds 2, along with a lot of the other games, come up with the Humble Choice this month. Great deal for 12. Oh, really? $12 for Humble Choice. Hang on. Is that just Humble Bundle, is it? Let's have a quick look. Humble Bundle. Is that the one? Not seeing it there. The vault. I'm not sure where it would be. Where is it? Where is it? Bundles. Oh, BattleTech. That's a great game. Where is it? So you're supposed to go, the arrow's under the Tomb Raider, the point to the right. Do I go that way? Oh, there it is. Mods 2. Okay. Wow. Okay. So you get a fair bit there, don't you? Like Dredge is a good game. Diplomacy is not an option is a great game as well. Gee, that's great. Thanks for the information there. That's very, very cool. So Sposka saying, Fig, you might want to spread the good word since you're a huge advocate of the game. Yes, yeah, and the arrows under the point to the right. Okay, all those games for $12. It's amazing. It is amazing. Like Diplomacy is not an option is a great, great game. Like that's really, really cool. That's also like that's very, very good. What else do we know? Tomb Raider. I haven't actually played that one. Nomad Survival. No idea what that is. It's pretty positive actually. It's not too bad. Tomb Raider. 90%. I haven't played that one. Dredge is a good game. 95% positive. Aliens, 88. That's actually, these are all good. Don't know what this one is. 1,000 Times Resistant. No, I haven't even heard of that one. Nova Lands. These are all very, very good, well-rated games. Okay, that's very, very cool. Choice gives away about 8 games a month for $12. The games are random, but usually good value. Yeah. That is great value. Thanks for sharing that. That is really, really good. So, and actually, USS Cheyenne is saying, yeah. So actually, is that So Cheyenne's saying also on YouTube there. Anyone interested? Distant Wars 2. Yeah, this month humble choice. So it's only for 10 euros. Yeah, in the right place. Just use the arrow keys. Yeah. Okay. So it's Sabosco and I guess Cheyenne are the same person. I'd imagine. So anyway, we've got Lorgius saying, I recently rediscovered AI War 2, which I thought is a mere game, but currently falling in love with it. Yeah, the very interesting mechanics with the AI War games. I didn't play much of that, to be honest. Game to mind, tinkering on strategic level. They brought in a few other games which I found really, really engaging as well. I forget what their last one is. Anyway, let's get back to the game. But that's thanks for sharing that. That's good news, good information. So that is awesome. Those different games there. Now we are ready to go further forward into this area. So we'll just keep on sort of, and we might have a bit of a look up top as well once we sort of do this. These are different groups coming down through here. 250, 215. This is even easier. I can go in and do probably both of these. This is a safe battle. Okay, so the towering butcher ogre gibbers in terror as your army approaches. He hunkers down, hiding his features behind gigantic fingers. Do you allow the plaintive butcher ogre and his gigantic clan to retreat, or will you attack? We can't conscript them. Begone, gentle giants. I think I'm just going to let them go. We're not really going either good or evil at this stage. We'll probably end up evil, but we'll just let them disappear, and we can then just take this one out as well. And so I'll just auto combat this one. If we end up taking too much damage, I'll probably just come back in and reset and redo it. Yeah, I can cope with that. That's fine. So we'll close that one off. That gives me 2 more areas for more gold. I really like this exploration factor that we now have. Getting the double ups like this. This is great. This is really, really cool. Alignment has now changed. We're slightly good. It's day 11. Got the Sundering Blades is now ready, so they're going to be applied to our troops. We'll just enchant them. So we now have the better equipment. It's going to chomp a little bit of the unit upkeep now. Unit enchantment upkeep of only 6, which isn't too bad. Hero offer. Okay, so we've got a lot of money. So respond to the hero's offer to join. So we end up, this is actually Imri Weaver, the one that we saw there before, level 3, a ranger. This one doesn't cost anything to get this particular governor. That one is privateer. There we go. We now see privateer. So clear a water infestation. We don't even know if there's water on the map, to be honest. So that's probably not going to be something we can really sort of go with. Actually, both 2 of them are privateers and one's a raider. Now we can chop and change those. It's not really a big problem. So it's more just what they do. Hero class specialise in range damage, which wouldn't be bad for us, you know. Like, it's not terrible. Then we've got Nebington. So this is from Nebington. The Valiant Dwarves. This is a prospecting governor. So while governor, the governing city. Actually, what's the other one? The other one's a specialist governor. So while governing the governed city gains benefits based on the renown level of the hero. So each special province improvements cost 20% less gold and less production. Renown level 2. So yeah, it's going to all come down to the renown. Won't worry about that one so much. Prospecting. So each mine grants +5 gold. Each mine grants +5 stability. That's actually pretty damn good, actually. And this one's a ritualist. So it's got magic orb weapons, staff weapons, or eldritch relic weapons. Then we've got a fortifying governor, which isn't really going to be all that important to us. This is a death knight. So compatible with great weapon, shield, fist weapons, and polearm weapons. Trollkin is it's a Trollkin governor. So this is a forester. So the scout, another ranger. While governor, the governed city gains benefits based on the renown level. So may recruit river trolls, butcher ogres, and butcher. Yeah, so we can get different trolls that way. Nautical governor, don't really need this one. Coastal water provinces grant +5 food, and recruiting governor. I think it's cost 20% less gold to recruit. Okay, tier 1 and 2 units are recruited with +1 rank. And at renown level 4, tier 3, 4 and 5 units recruited at +1 rank. That's actually not bad as well. This one's a warrior unit. I'm thinking we might, well, this is only level 1. I think we might go back and get one of these level 3s. Specialist, the actual, it's funny because the other governor, getting a recruiting governor. So you Wayne the Viper. This one does actually have a mount as well. Look, I might grab this one, I think. I think we'll grab him. So this will be the first one. So what do we get up to with the comments? Let's have a quick look. So, so Cy Red Eye saying... DasTactic, how would you recommend a brand new player learn the basics of Age of Wonders 4? The game lacks a tutorial and just kind of tosses you in. Yeah, that's a good question, a really good question actually. I can sort of show you what I think is the best way to start a game. So let's just say you don't have any DLC or anything like that. I'll recruit this one. I'll just go and recruit. It's a game that you will learn relatively fast, but the hard thing, or the hardest thing in the game is actually the tactical battles. And you have to play very defensively, so I'll treat that one a bit differently. I'll just save the game where we are. So we'll save and just go back out. So if I was, this is what I recommend players to, like, just so you get a feel for the game. If we just go back out and exit the game and just go back to the menu. So I think the best way to learn to play the game is to go and start a new game. Let's just say we don't have any of this other stuff. you've got this is Valley of Wonders, which is a story-driven game. Like this is actually a something where you've got like ancient ruins, crystalline abundance, and uninhabitable underground. It's a fairly basic sort of map, but this is actually a story map. So I would start there. Even though I tend not to play them myself, this one does actually sort of step you through a progression and a story with different quests to do to sort of get you used to the game. So I think that is like a tutorial map. So if you just go and select that one through there, difficulty, keep it on easy. You can see there by default it's on easy. So this is really where the game is designed for you to play this one. Then just go next, and then just choose Alfred Elderstone, which is the humans. And so Alfred Elderstone is just like a basic human king, essentially, with what he ended up having. So I would start using him because you'll feel familiar with the actual units, and so they won't feel sort of like too weird. You do have a whole lot of other different sorts of things you can then start to bring in if you're wanting to, but in reality, he is there within the default game. It's just humans. Where is he? He is feudal monarchy, which has now changed a little bit, but even with that, it's still going to be fine. I would just go with him and select the faction. It's still a random map, but driven, like it's driven in a certain direction. And so in this case,
it was the time when the raw
it then talks you through the backstory of the game. What's happened.
The time. There was little
Talking about the old, sort of like the old Pantheon of pretender gods from the early games, like from 1 and 2, for example. Like Yaka, Nimue, and Carissa are all sort of mentioned, and they're playable as well in the game. Yeah, so it just steps you through the story essentially, and then you go into a game where you sort of fumble your way around a little bit. And as I said before, this map is random, but the story is directed. And so you can, and I would just read, like just hover over things and sort of read them. You can sort of then go and hover and see, it'll then take you through a whole progression of what things actually do. You'll very quickly get a feel for it, but anyway, we'll just go New Dawn. Yeah, so you just sort of start this way. Like this group in through here, for example, just check and see what their rating is, like 230. Our guy is 395. So there's a very high chance he'll just win it anyway. So even if you're not really wanting to, initially you probably don't really want to be doing too much. Let's just grab and pick up that first. But if you probably don't need to be, like with the tactical battles, the game encourages save scumming. So even if you're not used to the tactical battles, still give them a go. But you can just go and play the game where you just do everything with auto combat. One good way to learn the game is to actually do an auto combat. Just go and do it. In that case, we lost a unit, which for me, that would be unacceptable. But watch the replay and just watch what actually happens. And you've got different like speed controls over how fast or slow the replay takes place. So you've sort of got like controls up through here. This will then just play itself out, but you'll sort of see that they'll come through, and you'll see where the problems actually occur. So we do actually have, like this will 2 times playback, 4 times, 1 time. So if I press space, will that do it? No, that will just close it out. I thought we could pause it. Maybe we can't. But this will actually give you a feel for what the AI does, and the AI is very good. So it's immobilized that unit. It then is going to spit some fire at another unit, and then we'll come through, and it'll just sort of show you what the AI did. And then you might be able to think, oh, if I did something a bit different there, I'd probably be able to get some advantage. Or if you do really, really badly, at least you can then see what the AI does as well. So if I just go and I'll just go and close it. But essentially, this is now showing you how the AI plays the game. So you can learn a lot from that. And I can still come back in and retry it if I'm wanting to. So I can actually then go and play it myself and see if I can do better. So the game really does encourage save scumming. So save scumming is a very, very viable way of actually approaching the game. We didn't get to see why this one lost its life, but we don't want to be losing units if we can help it. Anyway, I'll just leave that one where that is. But that's it's a good way to learn the game. It's just playing it this way, and as I said before, this directed map, you'll be able to sort of get like story events. You'll be introduced to different characters. It just steps you through nice and slowly. So I think that's probably the best way to to get into the game initially, without any of the DLC. So I'll just go and exit the game, go back to our menu. So we'll just go back to where we are. So it's if that helps. Yeah, so actually Warm-Up Blue is saying the same thing. The first story mission has tutorial-like gameplay and is easy, slow-paced. Yes, so that is it's a nice, easy way to sort of get into the game itself. And yeah, so if you're new to it, I would definitely recommend doing that. Yeah, Cy Red Eye saying thank you to Warm-Up Blue. I started on a bigger world or something and thought that was a tutorial, but wasn't, so I assumed it didn't have one. Yeah, it's not really a tutorial, but it's still a random world, but it does have a story element to it, which does progress you through. So Cosmero is saying there's some YouTube videos with tips for beginners. The games do not encourage saves. The game do not encourage save scumming, but replay encounters you lost, and try will always. You can do Control S if you really want to be save scumming, properly. But the game does have like that retry. You can retry as many times as you like. So that way you just learn and learn and learn. It's one of these games. The more you play the battles and just experiment with where you stand with your different units, and once you get an understanding of what the units do, and it's quite complex the way it does do it, you'll end up really enjoying it. So the more you get into it, the better. Cy Red Eyes in saying the real-time battle thing reminds me a lot of Sci-Fi 4X. So I tried it a while back. Planetfall or something. I'll definitely try the story mode. There's no real time. It's all everything's turn based. So everything is turn based. There's no real time at all in this one. And what would be another good tip that Daz is a big fan of is to role play and don't try to min max the game. Yeah, that's another big one. Most of these games, like all these really complex games, you end up with more fun if you don't try to min max them. Even though a lot of people say if you do this and do that, you're going to get an advantage. Doesn't matter. It really just doesn't matter. Like the goal of the game is to have fun with it, not to not to try to just exploit it, I guess. And so unless that's the way you have fun. If you have fun by exploiting games, then yeah, go to town. But I don't think it's a good way to approach games, particularly if you're trying to learn them. I think it's better to just go with immersion or with familiarity. Like that's why I think playing as the humans is a good choice. Just go and load our game back in again. So I'll just go and ditch this one. Delete the session, confirm. So we're back to here, turn 11. So we'll just go and load the game in. But there are so many different ways of playing this game. So many different approaches. Okay, so Matthew's saying thanks, Daz. That's how I got started using an earlier tutorial. Yes, it's a really good way to learn the game. That particular approach of using Alfred and the very, very first story mission. Yeah, and it really is actually don't worry about min-maxing. I mean, in one sense, we've sort of min-maxed a little bit with Underground, but I could have gone so many different ways. It really, it's just more. And in fact, you can start the way I like to actually play the game now is just to randomize everything and get random factions and see which one makes sense, and then just go with that one. The min-maxing is not too important. The most important thing is actually knowing what's going to happen in the actual game, in the battles, essentially, and sort of trying to make the most of those. Well, let's continue on. We've still got another one down through here. This one's only 260. So again, I come in. I'm just going to auto this one because I've got a big difference with what we're doing. We can see there they've got 2 more of these litharine cores along with a river troll. Now, if I lose too much health with a unit, and that's acceptable for me. I'm actually happy enough with that one. These units are starting to level up now as well, so I'll just close that one off. And then we've got the vicious band in through here. So this unit inflicts increased morale penalties when killing an enemy. So we'll go and open up our hero screen, and we will go and choose the vicious band in through there in the ring area for the actual hero. So we'll confirm that one and close. Now, did we get our hero? Yeah, we did. I should have brought this. Sorry, this is Yvain the Viper, which is a. We need to get another location for this one. let's go up this way. I've got a few areas here we can dig through. What if I send it north? Or we could either do that or leave it in with the actual stack that we've got through here. I'll bring it down with this stack initially. Now we could, yeah, this depending on if this expands out. Looks like there are some areas there that we could actually take on.
Yeah.
So if I go into this one, this is now you can see there the red area around that, like there's a red band. That means any force that we have in there will sort of draw them into the fight. This is a harder fight. So we've got like we've got an attack there of 663 against their 484, and so we can sort of just check and see what's going to happen here before we get started. This is mainly trolls, so we've got River Troll there at level 3, some level 2s there with Brewer Ogres, which will freeze units. We've got Butcher Ogres, which do sort of like big cuts. I still think we're going to be okay. We've got a Copper Golem there as well, which is just tier 1. So I think we're actually still fine with this particular attack. So I'll go through and play this one out and just go through again what to sort of really look for when you actually are doing the tutorials. I'm just going to go Control S. This way it gives me a quick save. You can see saving on the side there. So the game is now saved. So if I want to go back to where I am, I can just go and load that in that particular quick save. If I press Escape and then load game, I now have a quick save sitting there. It's ready to go. So that's one way of just doing and save scumming. With all the Age of Wonders games, I've always highly, even when they didn't actually have it in the game, I've always highly recommended save scumming because you learn so much about how to play the game by save scumming. And if I rush in with my units, which is what people tend to do in these games, you're going to get smashed. And so you really have to play very defensively. You need to understand what each unit's going to do. So let's go. It's only a low risk battle, but I'll play it out so you can sort of see what we have to look for. There's a bit to be sort of aware of. Now this unit's taken a bit of damage, but it's still actually okay. He's got 87 health points. He's out only tier 3. We do actually have our giant is now at level 3 as well. So I could do auto combat, see what the AI gets up to, but I'll just go into manual combat. Now in this instance, all of the enemy units have got an ability, a special ability. Now we are playing in a special environment, which is going to have, so this is actually now, these are preparing themselves. We'll go through what they just did there as well. It's one of these games that if you don't just rush through these battles, because each unit is really quite unique, and they do actually have different bonuses. Now, this area that we're actually in is we've got Arcanium Tremors. This is actually Arcanium ore, and so every 2 turns, all non-floating and non-flying attacking units suffer 20 physical damage. So it triggers in 2 turns and originates from the Marauder Guard. So we have to move fast with this one. So this one, the actual environment is pushing us forward. So we're going to have to close the gap and do damage as fast as we possibly can. Now, if I can't get this one done easily, I'm going to need to sort of probably come back and do this and reload back in that save scum and prepare for it properly. But we'll see how we go. And so back over through here, we've got different types of ogres. The River Troll, if we have a look and see what it can do, if just click on the, or right click on, either left click or right click on the image there. And so the River Troll has got a melee strike of 15. Again, it's a repeating melee strike. We can see that through there. So if it has 3 shots at us, that'll be 45 physical damage that will come through. It also has a Razor Net, which does a lot of damage at 24, but it's only a 1 action point, so it can move and fire it at 4 range, and there's a 90% chance of immobilizing a target. So it's going to be able to slow us right down if it needs to. It's got a defensive mode, which everyone does have. It's also wet, and so this one is actually more susceptible to lightning and frost, but is less susceptible to fire because of that one. And slippery and swift again. This is a skirmisher unit, is what we saw there earlier. So we've got a skirmisher unit there, which is a big one. We've got a polearm unit here with the Copper Golem. This is only tier 1, not going to be all that powerful. And so this is like almost like an elemental type unit with a melee strike. So it's got a 3 action, up to 3 action melee strike there, doing 12 damage. These have got a defense, so these are charge resistance. If something's going to charge them, then they can sort of defend themselves fairly well against those. We saw there these other ones. We've got the Butcher Ogre. The Butcher Ogre has got two different types of attacks. So this is a fighter unit. Now fighter units are just basic melee fighters. They don't do much else. I'm just going to quickly grab a drink. I'll be right back. So you can see there the fighter unit, an outright melee unit with no obvious specialisation or counters. And so these tend to be like your animal type units or units that really don't think through, they don't have any nuance about what they do. And so in this case, this is only tier 2. It's got a melee strike. So it will do, again, 13 damage per hit. That's just physical damage when we see that little sort of burst there like that. It's got a Butcher's Cut, which is range 1, so it's melee, basically. It always hits, and so deals damage to the target unit based on missing health, and the target unit has an increased chance to gain bleeding, and it's under defense, so the defense will then be lowered as well. On success, the Ogre heals for 15 temporary hit points, so the Butcher's Cut will actually heal the Ogre up, in this case. So we've got that one, and then we've got these units, which are going to be a little bit tricky for us. And so you'll see that these are fighter units as well. The Brewer Ogre has got some special abilities. So this is only a tier 2, again, fighting unit. It does have the melee strike. In this case, it does frost damage as well as physical damage. And again, it's a repeating attack. It's got a Frigid Belch. Now this is a putrid belch that deals damage in a 1 hex cone. So it will actually sort of spread it out a little bit. And it will then, there's a 90% chance of freezing the unit for 1 turn. So we have to be careful of that one. Drink. So and it's the Frigid Belch that is the problem, and so yeah, that is an actual issue. Drink essentially then triggers that one. So this one unit gains +2 strengthened, but also it gets less defense, and it does then get the Frigid Belch ability. So they've both drunk and gotten ready for being able to use that belch. So Frigid Belch is now what it has available to it. So that's sort of what. So that freezing is going to be a bit of a problem. So we don't want to be too close to each other because that is an area of effect attack. If I go and click on that one, you can see there you can attack 3 different areas around it with that belch. So we have to be careful of that one. This one here is a charging unit. So if we have a look to see, we can see through here. This is a charging strike. Does a lot of physical damage, but it's only got the 1 attack. So and it's of course a mounted unit. So the charge attack will actually gain 20% per hex travelled up to 3 hexes. So we want to be charging in from a bit of a distance. This one here can get up to there. That one there can get to there. These are charge resistant, so they're going to be able to sort of protect themselves against the charge. The other units we end up having, now I'm going to move this one across. I've got all 3 of those that I can actually hit. So I'll start to move in. This is high foliage. I think we're a demolish. I think we destroyed. Yeah, we destroyed that. Let's go and first of all start this way. So we just hurl the boulder and start to do some damage to all 3 of these. So they've all been slowed down. That's going to then mean that they can't go very far. So none of those can actually go too far, which now allows us to start to move our other units in. Let's move this one up. I might bring that one across the other side. I'll just get this one now ready to come in next turn with an attack. I might keep that one up top as well. Bring this one down. Okay, that's all we can really go and do. So we'll just go and end our turn. Everyone will just go into a defensive mode. Now they will be able to use its net, and it did hit us, but we resisted the immobilization. So that means we can still now do the attack. So this one is now out on its own, and we can see through there that when we hover over it, see how the little eyes are showing? That's where it's facing. So it's had an attack. It's not defensive. These guys here have got eyes all the way around them because they're now they're in a defensive mode, and this as well. Like, so all of these are in defensive type. They've got defensive modes, or they've either got the swords or not. You know, so they've got all of those different things. Let's go and now use the flame attack. Yeah, deals damage to all units in a 3 hex cone. So I can actually move past that area. I can actually do damage to all of those. So I'm going to do this.
Yeah.
I'm going to use it once per battle. Yeah, I can get all of those. So let's go and do this. And so they're burning. Now, we're going to take a lot of damage, so I'm thinking I'll actually use this here. Now, this is a... what we're seeing through there is it doesn't cost anything to go and do this one. It's essentially just something we can then go and do. So Sworn Bond always hits. And so I will actually go and set this one up in here, I think. With a Sworn Bond back this way, just so we take more damage. And I've then still got a shot here where I can go up against this particular unit. Now we've got the I can cancel a Sworn Bond. I'll probably actually go into defensive mode with the shield wall with that one. That will then put in a shield mode in around all of the other units that end up being there. Let's go and charge this guy. Now I don't have a shot there. Do there a little bit. I've got 2 shots there. I'll take that one in. I'll go for one of these at the back. Actually, that's 100% there. I'll take this one. Only one more turn, and then we all take damage. In this case. I can go for this attack, which I think I will. These are good against charging units, but not so much against these others. We'll just go this way again as well. Now remember, these can freeze, so we have to be a bit careful of our giant. So we could take some damage from these guys, depending on where they end up going. This one can actually reach all the way down to here, but I don't think it can do doubles. It can't really hit 2 of them in any one point, so I've got to be careful of that belch. And we've got 2 of these as well, so they can get to there and belch and try to freeze this one. So there's going to be we're going to have some problems this coming turn. Now we do actually have spells ready to launch. We have Hold the Line, so units in a 1 hex radius, defensive masters and charge resistance. We don't really have charges that we have to worry about. These ones here. The unit always enters defensive mode at the end of its turn. I won't worry about this one, I don't think. Just leave it where it is. Just go and end our turn. There we are. Everyone's taking damage, or all of the attackers. So Butcher's Cut, we did resist that one. Here comes the freezing. No, they didn't do it. Okay, so we're taking a bit of damage over this other side now. So we have a bit of a problem here. Now we've got a 70% chance of killing this one. We can do big damage here. Let's go for it. Missed, damn it. Now, to put that into perspective, at 70%, we've got 30% left over. 25 of that can be a graze, which means that the first attack that went in there was under 5. So if we have a look at the at what we ended up doing there, the archer uses the bow. We needed a 30 to get a full hit. We needed a 5 to get a graze. We rolled a 2. So that's actually what happened in that particular one. So that's the that's why it's still alive. We can kill it off with this. which is a shame because I would have liked to have hit the other one. Got 70% chance to hit this one. And we need to really now start to do some damage. But I've got 100% there, so I'll take the 100. It gets rid of its defense. And I'll either kill that one or do big damage that way. Yeah, I don't have enough there. If I think I'm going to have to run away from this one, which is going to, there's going to be some hits coming in. Unfortunately, we don't, like, yeah, we always get the full kill here with these guys. Yeah, with the damage that they can then go and do. Ah, boy. Okay, well, we need to stop this one. I'm going to let them have a flanking shot against me. So let's go and kill this guy. Actually do damage here. The other thing we have to keep in mind is that this one has still got very good morale, so it's not going to be running or doing anything sort of crazy. I can bring this one back in just to sort of help out with the health of this. So I think I'll hit this one. At this stage it's a kill with all 3 shots coming in. If it belches, doesn't do much damage, but it does freeze it. So I've got with the shots that will then be done. It will get one flanking shot when I move out of the way. This is where I can do a control S at any point, so I can save where I am and think, okay, is that going to work? Let's just see what happens. That's fine. I'm happy with that. So I'll leave that one where that is. It's taken a bit of damage, but at least we're now safe because we're not going to be able to survive there. So I'm just going to bring this one down, and I'll just pin it for now. So I'll just go and not pin it. I'll just put the shield wall up just to protect these other units. We do have the spell, but I'll just go and end the turn. So we've only got like 2 dangerous units left. Now we've got a flanking shot in here that they can now go and do, which is going to hurt. Doing okay here. Alright, so we've got this bond. Now I can turn that bond off, which I'll do because it's now too dangerous for this one. Just go, we've got 100% there, which can kill that one off. Good. And we should now start to see, yeah, they're starting to now get a little bit, their morale is kind of coming backwards a little bit. This one doesn't have any real morale problems as such. 90%, 85%. Critical hits going in, which is good. And we'll just keep on smacking this thing. The polearms get the first retaliation strike too, by the way. And I've just got this one left now, so I can move this one in and almost get the full damage here. And we got the kill there. And the experience is shared, like, unlike the previous games. Like Planetfall actually had shared experience as well, but this one, the experience is then shared amongst the group. So we took a bit of damage there, so we need to go back for healing. And so you can see that most of these actually, it wasn't an easy fight, We've gone up with different levels in through there as well, but that's fine. We sort of got through what we had to do. It was difficult because of this Arcanium, so that was a little bit more tricky. We'll just go and close that one off. I'm happy with what we ended up doing there. So we end up with the Crown of Ruin, which is a tier 3, grants extra resistance, magic attacks ignore up to 3 status resistance, which is actually okay for us, I think, ultimately. So we'll actually open the hero screen with this one. I'll replace the Crown of Ruin there. So pop that one in there and confirm that one. We also go up another level. Now we're now level 4, and level 4 then opens up the signature skills as well. So we can now start to do other things. Now we've gone through this area. We do actually have the Disenchanter. So Disenchanting grants plus 35% Binding Essence and Fragments, which will allow us to build more equipment, which may be useful. I'm thinking we go with Fire Evoker over through here, which will then deals damage in a 1 hex radius. This will give me more spell aspects. We also have the Skirmisher. Melee attacks grant prepared spell for 2 turns. And then so after melee attacks, we then end up with the magic attacks do 20% more damage. Let's start back with magic. So we'll go that way. And we also then have the signature skills. And so we need to choose. Now we start off with runes. That's one reflects 20% of damage sustained by melee attacks. Increases our unit upkeep by 10 mana though. Unlocks Warding Aura and Lightning Strikes. Critical rune. Units gain 50% chance to critical hit, but also increases the unit upkeep by 10 mana. Damage rune. Actually, what do we end up opening there? Inspiring Killer and Searing Strikes. Damage rune through here. This is so much better than what it's been in the past. So unit gains 15% damage on attacks, but costing us mana. Unlocks Purging Strikes and Stiller's Stone. Vitality rune. 20 hit points. Blight Strikes and Pack Leader. Rune Guard. This is probably the one that's most thematic for us. Increases unit upkeep by 10 mana. God, it's a lot, isn't it? Condemning Strikes and Shield of Faith. No, so that's not the one I was thinking of. Damage rune is the one I'm thinking of. Dispelling rune through there. I think we'll go with damage rune. Select that one. And we then end up with one of these. We can then sort of go and choose. So Purging Strikes. Base attacks have a 60% chance of removing 1 positive status effect. Or the Stiller's Stone. At the start of each turn, gain 2 defense and 2 resistance until the start of the next turn or until the unit moves. So if we don't move, then I probably will be moving around. I'll go that way. Okay, we'll confirm those. Alright, so that's where we are there. So this is the total. The upkeep now is 13 for this unit. So we'll close that one off. Hero leveled up as well, so we've got the other hero. So this is actually the warrior, and we end up with the mortal champion through here. Now I'm going to go through with the XP to start this way. So while army leader, all non-hero units in the army gain +2 experience per turn. That's really, really good in the early part of the game. So we'll just go and start that way with a mortal champion. Confirm. So he'll have that. Close that one off. New Empire Development skill. City structures costs. Yeah, so we're getting up with less gold. Less gold cost. That's going to be good for us. The other ones we don't really have, so we'll grab that one as well. Close that one off. Okay, Bulletin produced a library. Now we're now at 5 population, which means we can get the castle, which will then allow me to get the tier 2 units, the Bannerman and the Expiring Knight. So I will go and grab that one. Now I can actually rush this, although I'm getting things now pretty fast because of what we've got. We can get farmsteads, and I really haven't got a farm. Marine Covers Camp. good. +3 mana per adjacent quarry. And we've got like there's a section of quarries in through here that we're ultimately going to get. Like that there would be great for this. Particularly if we make this into a quarry as well. Yeah, if that became... I could end up making all of these into quarries all the way around it, which would give me a big boost of mana. So we might look at that as being that location surrounded by quarries, ultimately. We definitely want to go out this way as well. We've got a few things out this way that we want to be claiming. Yeah, okay, that's good. All right. Thank you, Hugh David, for the super chat. Very, very much appreciated. Sorry, I missed that one. It must have come through just before. So thank you very much for that one. Hi, Invictus, how are you going? So Warmock Boo is saying a small detail I'm loving about all of the DLC are the new interface skins. You can pick whichever one you want as well. Yep. So fighting units are so boring that even cultures do not have them. That's true. Definitely the designers of those games throw in some zany units. This is PS. Yeah, no, I love this game. It's just I find it so immersive with what it does do. All right, let's end our turn here. We're going to have to go back to Bulletin just to... I don't think we need to... I think I want all of this for the growth of this big city. Power Made Flesh. So this is a battle quest. So have you ever tasted Hunter Spider Matriarch, my giant queen? Your hero, Ewain the Viper, asks casually. You wonder where this is going. So anyway, what do we need to do? Help Ewain sate his hunger for more power. You accept the quest. So... yeah, so we have lowered morale. We don't want that. We decline the quest. We'll definitely do this one because we will then end up with mystery bonuses and experience. So we'll definitely go with that one. So we've got this this quest over through here. This is 400 army power. When are we getting our other units? We're still aren't able to build anything just yet. Just move back to heal up because we need to now heal up before we do anything else. So we'll get those in there. Select new research. Purging arrows. Yeah, we definitely want to get this as well. So it grants physical range attacks to enchanted units, plus 10 damage against magic origin units. Yeah, we a 60% chance of removing positive status effects from the target. We'll do that one. Okay, we've now unsealed that, but we still can't get through for some reason. Well, that's part of that, that's why. It's unusual. We'll go that way. That will then open up both of these. Nothing else for us to do this turn. So we do need to sort of clear out this area. Still very much in the early phase. Alright, we're now getting these units. I need to get a city for this guy as well.
Yeah.
Just get these guys healed up. He's still got a turn or two to heal up as well, so we'll just stay inside our territory. Area excavated, so we've now got a couple of different areas back through here. Let's just move up this one. So what have we got in there? This is knowledge stash. Knowledge. I can't quite reach that. Cancel. There was something else over there as well. Looks like a monster pickup. Keep you where you are. And we'll just go back to the city and build more units. So I'll go with another archer, I think. Yeah, 3 turns for that one there. End our turn. That's still got one more turn before this one's healthy. This one's also just got one more turn. Look, I think I'll keep it like that until we go after this particular group. Let's just go and stand on the edge. If this opens up, which it doesn't look like it does actually, so that looks like it's just sort of stuck there. But this opens up in here, this might be worth another city.
You have discovered a landmark.
Here we go. This is new.
Landmarks are region-sized locations that provide economic effects to all provinces adjacent to them.
So discovered a landmark. Landmarks are region-sized locations that provide economic benefits to all provinces adjacent to them. If a city manages to annex a certain amount of provinces adjacent to one landmark, they benefit from additional bonuses. Okay, so this is new. Now I don't know if this is DLC. I think it may be the DLC that we end up getting. And so the landmark, where is the landmark? So we've got a couple of different locations in there. Not sure where the landmark actually is, to be fair. Just keep on exploring these areas. Oh, it's over here. Here we go. So it's actually this city here that we're actually now seeing, and we're seeing another border over this other side as well. This is so cool, isn't it? This is the Meridian Maze. So this is a landmark. So adjacent provinces adjacent to this landmark gain a quarry in this province against plus 10 production. A mine gets plus 10 gold, and a city with 3 provinces adjacent to this landmark gains plus 20 binding essence and plus 5 fragments additional income, which is cool, which is great. So that's a nice one actually. So that's actually a giant. This is a giant location. Gee, that looks good. They've done such a good job of this. Like, it really looks great. So we're seeing that because we can see from Nebbington what's going on. Yeah, hopefully they can expand into there. We're going to have to get rid of whatever that is. Negotiations succeeded. So these now got the pact of loyalty. That's how we saw that particular location. Good news, proceed. So we're now getting towards vassalization. Spells ready to cast. We get the spells Tempered Shields. Close that one off. Produce the town castle in through here, and we can now expand even further. So this is where I'm thinking that we end up with even more quarries, because she loves quarries. But I also need to get food, and so I'm thinking of getting a farm here, which will just give me a little bit of extra food. It's not going to be much, unfortunately. It's hardly worth it. Not when we consider what else we can get. I think I'll build a quarry here and then build the special location there. Where do we have the others? I've already got a quarry there. I'll end up with quarries there. Yes, I think this one here. I can build just a farm here and then make it into that special quarry. I might just start that way. No, I won't. I will go this way. And yeah, so focus crystals have now been found. This is another resource. The focus crystals down here. Sorry, that's a mana node there. A mana node must be focus crystals under there. Yeah, that's focus crystals. So we do want to annex these sorts of things as well. So I've got a bit of work to do to sort of get everything sort of working. But we'll move across now and just finish off this quest. I'm actually thinking of moving Wayne the Viper up to claim a city in the north. You know, like we're looking at different locations that then sort of are over this side. And it could be good for us to see what we can find out this way. It does open up in there, so that could be a good location. But maybe we'll get to there. We'll sort of move up that way. Move them across. Just finish off this quest. Then I'll probably have to call it quits for today after that, actually. And then we'll come back tomorrow and or even later on today. I'm not sure yet. I really love this game. Now, these are all boosted, so we get the Caltrop Stash, which we don't want. The Arcane Battlements, we don't really want that one. The Mana Obelisk, we've got plus 26 at the moment, which isn't a great amount. The Rune Carver's Camp, I can get this in one turn. Let's go and do this one here. This one gives me mana anyway, so I wanted to place it here. And so we're going to ultimately end up with other quarries in around this. Here we end up, we've got so many quarries that we're actually getting, maybe we don't do this. Yeah, I will actually, I will. Yeah, because our happiness is not great. And the more of these we put in, the less happy it's going to be. So I'm thinking a tavern is ultimately what we're going to be needing as well. This is, so we need 2 farms to make the tavern work. The vendor's going to give us gold. That's with 1 farm. The workshop requires a farm as well. But I think the tavern, 7 turns for that one. Workshop. I'll grab the workshop just to get more production. Alright, okay, so we've got that one through there. We've discovered this one, of course. And we'll end our turn. Just eat the stones, says Beoff. Spell ready. Okay, so we'll now enchant these guys. So their shields will now be enchanted as well. Continue. Empire development skill. See, I find like we're playing dwarves with a giant, you know, in charge, and it feels immersive to me. Like I don't feel like I'm playing a bland game. We now have this one. It's founding or absorbing city takes -2 turns. Newly founded. That's another good one for us. We've got 375. We've got this one as well. Mines grant +5 mana. That's going to be important to us as well. Then we've also got this one over through here. Destroying an infestation or conquering a free city grants a stack of 300 relations with other free cities. I won't bother with that one. We are going to need to do this. We've got 1 mine at the moment. What's that one going to cost me? 150. I'll grab that one, and this one's going to cost me 100. I'll grab that as well. So we'll get both of those. Close them off. Okay, so we've got those ones there. We've produced another archer here. Purging arrows. Select new research. Here we go. We've got the next tome. It's only a tier 1. So it's got the Tome of Warding. But let's just have a look and see what else we can do. Probably, in one sense, I wouldn't mind getting one of these. But I'm thinking we go fire. I think Pyromancy with fiery arrows and searing blades, along with the Pyromancer. We don't actually have a good magic user, and the Pyromancer would be a good addition with what we've got, because we can now breathe fire in that as well. I think it works. I think it works, this one, so I'm going to select this one here.
Fire is sacred.
Yeah, and there's the Pyromancer there, so we'll grab the Pyromancer straight away. So we've uncovered this area. Again, I'm just looking at the white on the black, which means that they're not going to be walking around and coming up after me. These are, anything that's on these locations is just here to defend it. Let's go and move up this way a little bit. Oh, here we go. Now we've met meeting the Perpetual Silesius. So floating formation of stone addresses you. Silesius welcomes you. Sister, I am Nickdorf. We share ancient kinship through our paths that diverged eons ago. We've heard of the elder giants who turned themselves to crystals to preserve not just themselves but also their lore. We scholars of the cosmos keenly note your mobility, giant, so not out of envy but out of utility, like our Siluriid sensors, whatever the hell they are. What are they? Those things? So some sort of something. Wisdom can guide you to erudition. The stone-faced entity's voice is monotonous, yet not without hopeful tone. So we, the Eternal Sages, will reward your aid. Yeah, so we can actually inspect the crystal settlements. So open the dwellings overview for Silesius. offered to aid the Eternal Sages with a quest for knowledge. So Nick Torf will explain how you may aid the Crystal Dwelling, which is sort of what we want to do. Farewell, perhaps you can teach them the Miradus Lost secret someday. So in this case, we can do either one of these, but we'll offer for the quest. Actually, if I do it this way here, I'm pretty sure I can still just go and do it. So this is actually the Crystal Palace, which is over here, so a fair way away from where we are. If we have a look, it's not too far. That may be what we're seeing there, actually. That may be the edge of their location. So Silceus in through here is the Crystal Dwelling. And so this is new to the game. We can't give them the Whispering Stones. So the only way we can actually make them happy is to actually go and do quests for them. So engage with the Crystal Dwelling to start a quest for winning their allegiance. So if we go into here, so this is brand new. This is within the DLC. So so Reinhardt's saying, reminds me of the "Show me what you got" faces from Rick and Morty. I know they're quest givers, but if you wanted, could you take over their city? I think so. Yeah, I think you could actually attack it, but it'd be very, very difficult. So in this case, ask the Eternal Sages for a quest. Ask the Eternal Sages for a challenging quest. So they offer a quest that will give 14 allegiance with them. This one here is just 10 allegiance. We'll do that one. Do the basic one. Share your insights as a giant king with the Eternal Sages. We lose 10 knowledge per turn for 6 turns. Again, 6 allegiance, so we can just do it that way. We can pay to reveal a location of special interest, which I won't do. I don't have enough. So we'll ask them for a quest. So forging the pushing wind. So the Eternal Sages approach you with a quest. So will you reforge the pushing wind for the Crystal Dwelling so that they may study it? Now the pushing wind is what? So tier 1 leg boots. Okay, so we can just make those. I will forge the pushing wind for you. Now we've got 20 turns to do that one. We can have a look at that straight away before I finish up. In fact, I might leave the other. I didn't want to go up to there unless I had something to do. So let's just go into this side. Move this one. Open this one up. So I was going to attack that one, but I think I might leave it. It's only very, very weak. Oh, look, yeah, I'll just do an auto battle here. Actually, no, it's 400. There's a hidden unit there. A Hunter Spider Matriarch. So we can get this one done, but we're going to have to forge the pushing wind in through here. So if we have a bit of a look at this one, if we go into the item forge new item. Now this one should be under blueprints, pushing wind. This one's going to require 100 of these of the essence of the forging essence. I forget what it's called, and we don't have any just yet. We need to start to pull things apart to go and do this one. So pushing wind, yeah, there's nothing tricky with that one. So I think that we can just go and just click on close. Let's go and do this attack. I'll just auto this one and see if we need to play it out. I am mindful that I do have to get going fairly soon. So Gratian saying, show me what you got. Forge the pushing wind sounds like, well, a fart. We've got a lot of power here, so let's just see what happens. Just do an auto combat. Yep, that's fine. So that's okay. We'll just go and close this one off. Now, power made flesh. So Yvain has gained enough experience to level up and gain 70 renown. So he liked that. Give me a taste of that. So we can gain enough experience to level up. Stepping strength suits you. So Yvain the Viper learns Spirit Breaker Aura. All power comes at a price. Receive gold. Mix the carcass of the Spider Hunter Matriarch into rations for your troops. So all units in the stack of yeah, we've only got one other unit there, so we don't really want that. So I think we'll do this one here, where we gain enough experience to level up. So we'll just go and grab that one there. That gives me both rulers then level up a little bit. So the ruler, I can go and get the second one if I wanted to, still a stone, but I think I'm going to continue on down this other road. We've got Cascading Evocation. This one here is Devastating Evocation. So Fire Evocation now. Yeah, I might do that one there. That then opens up the whole middle area through here. Let's just go that way to get more spells. We'll confirm that. And I can go and get the essence back out of this if I wanted to. I think I'll keep it. Vicious Band has only got 50. So I need to go back and take more locations. I'll do that next time we do the recordings. So just move this one back. Move you back as well. Hero leveled up. So back in through here, we've got the XP. We've also now got this one here, Logistics Training. While Army Leader, all non-hero units in your army have minus 20% unit upkeep, which is actually fairly good. And Foraging, while we're doing this one, we end up regenerating. But let's go back more with the warrior skills. And so we've got this one here, which is Berserker. So melee attacks gain plus 10% damage. And we also get extra hit points. Or this one through here, where we end up with +1 defense and extra hit points as well. I think I'm going to go with the defense, just for survivability. So we'll go that side. Okay, we'll confirm that one. I really like how they've done this. It's so good. Oh, hang on. Got the helmet. It's 50. Yeah, so we'll confirm that as well. So we'll close that one off. Fix it saying off and get the pushing wind. Yeah, we do have that old helmet. We can disenchant. So I could disenchant both the ring and the. I'll do that next turn actually. I'll do that. So we've just got this one here. So forging the pushing wind. So we'll start off maybe sort of getting rid of both those items. And did I grab the ability? Oh, you know, I should have got the other thing. I need to level up one more time, and then I'll disenchant, because when we disenchant with an actual level up for disenchantment, I get plus 35% as well, and I prefer to do that, I think. So we will actually just keep on going around and seeing what we can find from these other locations. Okay, well, I'll end the turn, so we've got like a fresh turn to start with, and then I'll call it quits, guys. Yes, we found iron deposits back up through there. Got other locations now sort of spreading off from here. There's a fair few areas up in here actually, which isn't bad at all. We might be able to even sort of set up on the edge here. Yeah, with another city. Probably should have built another city by now actually. So anyway, I will leave it here, guys. So thanks for watching, and yeah, we'll come back next turn to sort of check everything else out, the different units we have to then start to move around. But it's I got to say, the DLC is there's a lot of immersion in it. That's all I sort of really say about it. I am surprised at the price. I think the price is high for a DLC, but it does add again a lot to the game. Every DLC has added a lot to the actual base game. But yeah, it's up to you guys whether that's of value to you or not. So anyway, guys, I'm going to leave it there. So thanks for watching, and I'll be back. I don't know if I may even be back later on today, like in maybe sort of like 10 hours, but I may not be. So I won't promise that. Otherwise, I'll see you guys tomorrow. What's tomorrow? Tomorrow is, well, actually tomorrow I'll probably have to be playing again Distant Worlds, because that will be our. That will essentially be our Worldly Wednesday. So, but I'll see if I can squeeze in another game of this. I'll definitely be squeezing it in around the other games. But I'll be playing Distant Worlds tomorrow, so that will be part of our Worldly Wednesday, and yeah, and then we'll just go from there, I think. So certainly over the coming days, we'll be playing more and more of this. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you then.